BGSU baseball begins a 4-game road trip by traveling 3 hours east to face off against the Youngstown State Penguins here at Eastwood Field, the home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here for you with this one. Exciting to be here, Chaz, after a 3-hour travel east to be here at the home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers for a little midweek non-conference battle between the Falcons and the Penguins.
Yeah, Tyler, it's a very fun experience. It's definitely one of the cooler stadiums we've been to, as we've both been beats for baseball for the past 2 years. We were talking about when we went to Lake Erie Crusher Stadium for the MAC tournament. That was a really fun one.
Up in Avon, Ohio.
Yep, this is a completely different feeling to that one. A little bit smaller, but we mentioned it for the players. You get your own bullpens that you don't get at many college stadiums. And the fact that you are playing in a little bit of a semi-professional environment, that is very cool. And very cool for us as well. We've got a press box all to ourselves. And it's been a while since me and you have been on a call together, so I'm excited. And we have a doozy in front of us, Tyler.
Has been a little while since we've been on the call. We'll get more into the history of this stadium and its importance in the grand scheme of baseball as we go on throughout this call. That'll certainly be fun. But this is a big matchup for this Youngstown State team, trying to avenge a loss to the Falcons earlier in the season. Bowling Green defeated Youngstown State at Stellar Field 12-7 on March 25th. These teams have met 21 times before, dating back to 1982. The Penguins actually lead the all-time series, Chaz, 13-8 over the Falcons. But Bowling Green has won 2 straight, 5 of the last 6 in this series. But when you look at this field, the Penguins won the last game here at Eastwood Field against Bowling Green 5-1 on May 9th, 2023. The Falcons have not won at Youngstown State since 2020 when they picked up a 2-1 victory.
And even though it's not even Youngstown State's true stadium, it's a different stadium, they still have that home field advantage, the ability to win on your own field. But you look at Youngstown State in general in baseball, not off to the best start, to say the least, especially at home. They have been really hot and cold. We saw them go up against Bowling Green. They're 7-23 so far this season, 4-4 at home, even worse away, 3-19. So they have their best record when they're on their own home dirt. But even then, it's kind of tough. They managed to split 50-50 in the Horizon League. They're also 4-8 in that league, which is not really a top-of-the-tier league, but still, I think with having the ability to win the games at home, we've seen them do it before. The last time the Falcons did it was half a decade ago. They clearly have something on the Falcons with this stadium.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, they've been a little hot and cold. They are winners of 3 of the past 4. The start of that streak was a win here at this stadium against a MAC opponent in Toledo. They defeated Toledo 13-3 on April 1st to begin the month. And then they rattled off 2 more wins to win a conference series against Oakland in a doubleheader on Friday, similar to what BG was faced due to the weather. And they lost the final game of that series against Oakland on Sunday, 15-5. But they still do have that momentum. They had a midweek game that was supposed to be played yesterday against Pitt here in Niles, Ohio, that was canceled. So they're looking to get a win in their only midweek game of the week. And when you look over at Bowling Green, Chaz, this is a team that is coming off a series loss against Miami of Ohio, losing 2 out of those 3 games. They got swept in both games of the doubleheader on Friday, stole the game in 10 innings on Sunday against the Red Hawks 7-6. They are a team that's looking to really build some momentum, more momentum, going into this big Western Michigan series this weekend, a Western Michigan series that is huge in terms of what happened last season, and a win here against the Penguins would be major for the Falcons in terms of that.
100%, Tyler. We mentioned baseball more than nearly every other sport. It's a sport of momentum. No matter what team you play, you have to give your all in each game, because if you don't, you can get in your head. If you have a couple bad at-bats in a game that you think does not matter, then you are going to be thrown off for the next several games trying to get yourself back in swing. It's very important, especially in this sport, to stay on top of yourself, no matter the opponent you're facing. And this Youngstown State team, we mentioned, yes, they're coming off of a pretty hot streak, winning 3 in a row, but still, at the end of the day, this is an opponent that Bowling Green is better than. You don't want to drop yourself down a little bit before you head to a Western Michigan this upcoming weekend, which is a team, one of the only teams to actually end up sweeping you.
So we're about to have the national anthem here, but before we get to that, we do have a couple first here for this Falcons team today. Carter Motice is in the lineup for the Falcons. It'll be his first collegiate start, and he'll take his first collegiate at-bats for the Orange and Brown. And Haroon Pelja will be on the mound for Youngstown State, opposite of Logan Bell. Logan Bell will get his first career start with the Falcons. It'll be just his second collegiate start.
Yeah, a lot of firsts going on in this game, and I do like what I see from Kyle Halleck. Another game where we're also going to have 3 catchers.
Yep.
And at once, Zach Horkey, Cooper McKenzie, and, of course, Garrett Wright will all be together on the field at once. That'll be very exciting to see. And then you've got Motice, another one that is going to be very exciting to see. Logan Bell getting his first start as a Falcon in his career. A lot of firsts, and we mentioned this is a game you're better than your opponent. You might want to try out a couple of things. This is what I personally love about spring baseball. When it's still a little cold out, there's a nip in the air, and you're trying out new things because you know in just about a month you are going to face the hardest test of the season, which is the conference tournament, and that is what they're doing right now, tweaking everything, seeing if 3 catchers is good enough batting-wise to win you a game or 4 in the MAC tournament.
For Youngstown State, they'll lead off with Kyle Fossum, the right fielder. He'll be followed by Tommy Rover batting second, the third baseman. Cole Smith bats third at second base. Brady Shannon bats cleanup in left field. Nathan Beckley on first base bats fifth. Garrett Cutting playing shortstop bats sixth. Batting seventh is Jay Rona. He's the designated hitter for the Penguins. Caleb Hadley bats eighth as the catcher. And Eli Brown in center field rounds out the batting order, batting a ninth. For Bowling Green, TJ Tackett leads things off in center field. Sam Seidel bats second at second base. Garrett Wright batting third in left field. Gavin Gannon will bat cleanup for the Falcons over at first. Cooper McKenzie behind the plate bats fifth. Zach Horkey as the designated hitter bats sixth. Gunnar Antillion at short bats seventh. Carter Motice gets his first collegiate start batting eighth in right field. And Braden Curlis, another freshman, gets another start at third base. He's started back-to-back conference series, all 3 games in those series against Central Michigan and Miami at third. Gets another start there at the hot corner today, batting ninth. And that'll lead us in the national anthem here at Eastwood Field. So we'll step away for a quick second. When we come back, we'll have first pitch between the Falcons and the Penguins right here on WBGU 88.1 FM. All right, we should be good to come on whenever. back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, a little bit off the campus of Youngstown State University. Tyler Kablitz alongside Chaz McNeil for the Falcon Media Sports Network on the call for you for this one. Chaz, this is definitely going to be an exciting one if it's anything close to the first game between the Falcons and the Penguins earlier in the year towards the end of March at Stellar Field.
Yeah, Tyler, you're right about that. That was a very exciting game. Youngstown State, going into that game, they were 4-19, matching up against the Falcons. They managed to strike first blood. They go up very early when Fossum, leading off, Kyle Fossum, lead off home run to right center field. It was a little bit of a firework to start things off. After that, the Falcons settled in a little bit. TJ Tackett's homered, then Brady Birchmeyer managed to ground score Caden Parker, and then after that, it was just a back-and-forth battle with Youngstown State actually going up on Bowling Green, and Bowling Green in the 7th inning scored 8 to kind of shut them down. Youngstown managed to get just one more run. 12-7 is the final score of that one.
We'll see if history repeats itself today or if we have a little bit of a pitcher's duel in store. Time will tell. Defensive positioning for the Penguins. It's Hadley behind the plate. Beckley's over at first. Smith at second. Cutting at short. Tommy Rover is over at third base. And the outfield left to right is Shannon Brown and Kyle Fossum. Pitching on the mound for Youngstown State is Haroon Pelja. Pelja, this season, is 2-0. He is a senior right-hander. Big figure on the mound. He stands at 6'5", 230 from Melbourne, Australia. An international pitcher on the mound for Youngstown State. He has an .836 earned run average across 14 innings pitched. This will be his 9th appearance and second start of the season. 7 strikeouts to 14 walks, so not the best strikeout to walk ratio in the world. He's given up just 1 extra base hit this season, a double. Opponents batting .240 against them, and a .186 whip, so control has definitely been the main issue when you look at it for Haroon Pelja.
And Pelja, one of the classic college pitcher journeyman types. You look at his resume a little bit. He spent 2022 at Ventura College. He was only a relief player. He made 5 relief appearances. He was 1-0, 2 whip in just 4 innings. Then he goes to Howard in 2023. He was part of the NJCAA. And during then, he made 12 relief pitches. Another relief guy, 1-0 record. He did have a save and a .313 ERA. Last season, he was at Spring Hill College. Pretty solid year. Now he ends up at Youngstown State. Yet another season of movement and upgrades.
Our umpires for today, Jason Snyder behind the plate, Kyle Reese at first, and Michael Gerber is over at third. TJ Tackett steps into the box for Bowling Green to lead things off. The left-handed batter awaits the first pitch from Haroon Pelja, swung on and popped up to the left side, but out of play, and we are underway here at Eastwood Field.
And I mentioned it just when we opened up, but TJ Tackett's leadoff home run the last time the Falcons ended up playing Youngstown State just a couple weeks ago.
And I believe that was one of the first games that he was moved into that leadoff spot for the Falcons when Kyle Halleck made that move to kickstart the top of that order.
And it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that momentum up. That's when I believe he also had that 3-game home run streak as well.
Yeah. Looks off a ball on the outside, so the count moves to 1-1. Haroon Pelja working from the stretch. His 1-1 delivery. Check swing by Tackett's at the plate. Appeal down to third to umpire Michael Gerbert. He says Tackett's went around to the plate. He's down the count now 1-2. Youngstown State wearing their all whites with some Red Sox red hats. Bowling Green going with the orange pants, the brown tops, and the orange hats. The 1-2 pitch by Pelja is an off-speed low and outside for a ball. Count now moves even to 2-2 on TJ Tackett's the leadoff batter for the Falcons.
And you can see there is a bit of aggression coming out of Tackett's. Just you can tell he wants to get a good chop on a ball. Good job looking there for ball number 2.
The payoff pitch is just a bit outside. Count runs full to 3-2 in the first batter that Pelja faces here today. Tackett's with a .431 on-base percentage this season.
And that was a good job by TJ Tackett's. That ball just missed the top of the zone. Good job eyeing it down, not being aggressive. Now he's got a full count here.
The full count pitch by Pelja, swung on, popped up to the left side, and it's going to get out of play once again. Just over the Bowling Green dugout down that third base line. It's always interesting to see where the stadiums put the home teams, because at Stellar Field, the home team, the Falcons, is down the third base line. Here at Eastwood Field, it's the home team down the first base line. Pelja comes set with nobody out top of the first. His 3-2 delivery misses just a bit up high, and TJ Tackett draws a leadoff walk for the Falcons. He's been so good in his career at Bowling Green at finding different ways to get on base.
And you mentioned that, Tyler. The .431 on base percentage only going to go up now after that walk. And now Sam Seidel, another guy who last season was the go-to on-base guy. I would argue they've got two other players now that are just as good at getting on base in the form of Tackett and Garrett Wright.
Sam Seidel batting .315 this season. A .401 on-base percentage for him. As he mentioned, a pretty high mark for the second baseman for the Falcons. First pitch by Pelja, down low for a ball. Hadley with a nice stop behind the plate. It's a chilly day here in Niles, Ohio, 46 degrees. We have just 3-mile-per-hour winds, a very light breeze. Feels like 44, so not too different from the actual temperature. Pickoff attempt over to first base, but back in time safely is Tackett. We're only going to decrease in temperature from here on out. Sunset's going to come at about 8 p.m., so I would think that we're going to have these lights turned on at some point during this game. We'll get down to about 43 degrees by the conclusion of the game. Tackett's off and running on the pitch. It's down low for a ball, and kind of hesitating behind the plate was Hadley. I'm not sure if he had a hard time getting out of the glove or double clutched, but in there safely with a stolen base is TJ Tackett. Aggressive base running gets him into scoring position for the Falcons, and the count's 2-0 at the plate on Sam Seidel.
And I was going to say, Tyler, Hadley, he had the throw. If he just puts his head down and makes that throw, that might have caught Tackett trying to steal, but there, you're right, the hesitation, the fake pump.
Seidel swinging, drives this right field fairly deep. Going back is Fossum, still going back. He's at the wall. It's over his head and out of here. Sam Seidel, a 2-run home run to put Bowling Green on the board early here in the top of the first, 2-0 against Youngstown State. Seidel, his fourth home run of the season. Big swing to that one and drove it into right field, carried over that right field wall. And Seidel puts the Falcons up early.
Very exciting there for Bowling Green. Sam Seidel, we mentioned, great on-base guy. He just hit all 4 bases at one time, sent it over the wall, and a great diving attempt there by Fossum, but he would have to have hops like a bunny to snag that ball from going over the wall. Now the Falcons up 2-0 early, almost a reverse of Game 1 that we saw at Stellar Field.
You love to see that if you are Bowling Green. Struggled in the first 3 innings against Miami in that series. And what do you know? Hit by a pitch is Garrett Wright. That is something Wright is all too familiar with. He extends his program record for hit by pitches and keeps approaching his own single season record as he's hit by yet another pitch.
And now
just a pitch magnet at the plate, Chaz.
You're right about that. And that pitch might have cost a conversation now for Pelja, as Youngstown State is going to have a little conversation. They're not going to switch him out this early, I believe, but it's more so just everything going all right. You let up a home run. Very next pitch, you end up plunking Garrett Wright. Those connections there, the thing about being a pitcher, it's a very mental game. And now you've got a guy in Gavin Gannon, the 4-hitter for Bowling Green coming up, with a ninja headband, an absolute slugger, a streaky slugger, but if you get him on a good day for him, it's a bad day for you.
That is very true. As the first pitch to him catches the outside corner for a strike. So Garrett Wright now has been hit now 16 times this season. That breaks a tie for the second most in program history. So he now owns the most and second most hit by pitches in a single season in BGSU history through his first 2 seasons at Bowling Green. And he will be chasing his record of 21 hit by pitches that he set last season in his MAC Freshman of the Year campaign.
Absolutely unreal if you are Garrett Wright.
Off and running is Wright. Big swing and miss by Ganana at the plate, and Wright's not even going to have a chance to slide. He's caught by a good 10 feet down at second. Garrett Wright caught stealing for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was just, you could tell Bowling Green a little bit aggressive there, trying to send yet another one running. And Garrett Wright, there we saw by Hadley, that's what you get when you get no hesitation. Hadley easily made the throw, great arm down to second base, and then you have Cutting just able to put it away. Or, excuse me, that was Smith.
Wright had been perfect on stolen bases this season, 5 for 5. First caught stealing for him. Pitch misses inside by just a bit to Gavin Ganun, and he is now still down the count, but now has a ball 1-2. Ganun's been a big victim of the strikeout this season. 37 strikeouts, ranked second in the MAC. The 1-2 pitch to him, lined up the middle, almost hit Pilja. He gets out of the way, but it's fielded cleanly just behind second base by the second baseman Smith. Throws over to Beckley for the second out of the inning.
And that was a hard hit line drive that, you're right, nearly smoked Pelja. Managed to get out of the way of it. I thought he was going to get a backhand grab on that ball. It was right around hip level, but great fielding there by the combination of Cutting and Cutting and Smith, excuse me. Smith at second base is positioned right behind, too, a little unorthodox.
Up to bat now as Cooper McKenzie looks at a first pitch ball. Cooper McKenzie, the junior catcher who's also played some outfield this season from Wheelersburg, Ohio, batting .230 this season. Played in 2 of the 3 games against Miami over the weekend, going 1 for 8. Hard hit liner, but foul down the third base side. Count goes even to 1-1. McKenzie went 1 for 8 in the 2 games against the Redhawks with a walk and a strikeout. He's been in a rough patch recently. His past 6 games, he's 1 for 22 with a run scored, an RBI, a walk, a hit by pitch, and 5 strikeouts. Looking to get out of that rut and get going at the plate for the Falcons. The 1-1 pitch to him. In there for a strike. Locked up McKenzie. He's now down the count 1-2. Pelja looking to get out of the inning with just the 2-run deficit.
Tyler, I hate broadcasting games with you because you always take the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was just about to say. Pelja, if you can get out of this with just 2.
This one driven up the middle on the ground lightly by McKenzie and fielded by the shortstop Cutting. Throws over to first to end the inning, and Pelja does get out of it, Chaz, after giving up a 2-run home run to Sam Seidel. He gets 3 outs in a row to send it to the bottom of the first, but Bowling Green up 2-0 over Youngstown State here at Eastwood Field on WBGU 88.1 FM. Back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio. Bowling Green against Youngstown State. Falcons up 2-0 going into the bottom of the first, courtesy of a 2-run home run by Sam Seidel in the top half of the inning. We would like to thank Rob Sloan for allowing us this time to be on the air to broadcast this game, Chaz and I. He usually hosts Spirits in the Material World, his show from 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. So I appreciate him, and I'm sure you do, Chaz, as well, for giving us this time to be on the airwaves, to sharpen our craft and broadcast this game to all of you listeners back home. And we'd also like to encourage you guys to check out his show on future Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. against Spirits in the Material World, Rob Sloan on WBGU 88.1 FM. But back underway here at Eastwood Field, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, but today home between Bowling Green and Youngstown State. Kyle Fossum, Tommy Rover, Cole Smith will lead things off for Youngstown State, and on the mound for Bowling Green is a guy we usually see out of the bullpen, Chaz, in the form of Logan Bell. Logan Bell, his first start with the Falcons, just his second career start. That came back in his freshman year at Akron. He does not have a decision this season, a 21.32 ERA, 6.1 innings pitched. This will be his 9th appearance, his first start, 5 strikeouts to 7 walks, opponents batting .541 against him. His first pitch to Fossum, down and outside for a ball. And Kyle Fossum has been an absolute machine this season. He's a transfer in from Washington, played his first 3 seasons at Washington. He leads this Youngstown State team in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. He is batting .440 this season, a .535 on base, a .914 slugging, and a ridiculous, out-of-this-world 1.449 OPS.
Yeah, one thing about Fossum is that he's a quick hitter. He's going to take a chop at a ball that comes up close to him, unlike the one that you just saw as it was up in his grill there. But he is a big, heavy hitter, like you mentioned, Tyler. And on top of that, usually a quick hitter, a momentum guy, will hit if it feels right, no matter the placement of the ball.
3-0 count early by Logan Bell. Struggle finding the strike zone as he misses yet again outside for ball 4. So a very quick 4-pitch walk to Kyle Fossum to put him on first. Could be worse things you see from Fossum, but you don't love a 4-pitch walk to begin the game if you are Logan Bell. Logan Bell has had a rough time of it recently, to say the least, for Bowling Green, as Tommy Rover coming up to the plate, a switch hitter over at third base. He'll bat from the left side against the right-handed Bell. Logan Bell, his first 2 games did not allow a run in 2 innings pitched. Gave up just 2 hits, struck out 2, and walked 3. As it's in the dirt, 5 straight balls by Logan Bell to begin the game. Over his past 6 appearances, he has a 31.18 ERA, 15 earned runs, and 4 1/3 innings pitched, 18 hits, 4 walks, to just 3 strikeouts during that time. He's looking to rebound here and get going, most likely out of that bullpen going forward for the Falcons as he gets the start here today. And 6 straight balls by him to begin the game as he's behind the count 2-0 to Tommy Rover.
And this is not what you want to see if you're Bowling Green, by the simple fact that they do not have a weekday starter. You look at the normal lineup that Bowling Green runs throughout the week. You've got DJ Newman on Fridays. Saturdays, it's
This
usually
is inside
McGood.
again, so 7 straight balls to begin the game.
And
by
Sunday, it's Landon Williman. Bell could be that guy for the weekday, for that Wednesday, for that Tuesday, and right now,
we saw Sova coming to start some games, but like you said, he has been kind of moved to a bullpen role.
Yes.
A little bit for Bowling Green. The 3-0 pitch by Bell misses down and inside. 8 straight balls by Logan Bell to begin the game. And that's 2 4-pitch walks by him to put runners on first and second, with Cole Smith coming up to the plate.
And that is just chaos to start the inning if you're Bowling Green. They're actually going to send a player over to the bullpen now in the form of freshman catcher Jackson Brown. So they're going to get a bullpen addition very quickly. You got the bullpen catcher coming out. I mean, you're going to try and ride with him a little bit longer, see if you can get an out, but it's going to be very tough to win a game if you're Bowling Green.
Maybe Kate Arn possibly going down there.
If your starting pitcher cannot record it out.
Maybe Arn can't I don't see a number, just going based off the looks. We'll see exactly who they get up in the bullpen. Maybe hard to see from here. But Cole Smith up to the plate for Youngstown State. Runners on first and second for him. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Bowling Green leads 2-0. First pitch by Logan Bell, up high for a ball. 9 straight balls by Bell to begin the game. Smith, a senior infielder, 6'1", 215. a lefty batter, played last season at UT Martin. He's batting .269 this season. .333 hitter over the past 5 games, and Logan Bell finally does find that strike zone. Catches the outside corner to even up the count 1-1. You'd have to imagine for Bell, that's just a great sight for him. Calm down a little bit, finally get a strike under his belt, and now he can go from here. The 1-1 pitch by the right-hander, swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2.
And Cole Smith, one of those guys that you like in your top 3 because, as you mentioned, Tyler, he is a little bit of a harder hitter, or he's a hard hitter, but he does struggle sometimes. That's why you keep him
runner
down
off at
3.
second. It's a ball. Throw down from right. They got him. It was Fossum trying to steal third. A great throw by, I shouldn't say right, that's Cooper McKenzie behind the plate. My apologies there. And McKenzie gunned him down at third. It's Gavin on at first, Sam Seidel at second, Antillion at short, Curlis at third. And Garrett Wright's out in left field today. TJ Tackins at center. And Carter Motice over at right field. Foul to the back by Cole Smith. It was a ball on the steal attempt, so the count's 2-2 now.
But as I was saying, Tyler, Smith kind of tucked behind the harder hitters of Fossum and Rover and backed up by Brady Shannon, who is right behind him.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Smith goes down on strikes. Logan Bell collects his first strikeout of the day and the second out of the inning with a cleanup hitter, Brady Shannon, coming to the plate.
And a little fun fact about Brady Shannon, not only is he a outfielder for Youngstown State as a redshirt sophomore, he's also a quarterback for Youngstown State. He's a junior technically because the football season is officially over, but he's a redshirt sophomore right now for baseball. And he actually played in 4 games at quarterback. He had 18 carries against Valparaiso. And he plays baseball, obviously, as you can tell by him taking pitches from Logan Bell.
Fouls off the first pitch behind us. To start behind in the count. Shannon this season, batting .268. He's 0-8 over the past 2 games with 6 strikeouts. 12 multi-strikeout games this season for Shannon, with just 1-4 in the first game against Bowling Green earlier this year. The 0-1 pitch by Bell barely misses off the outside corner. It was a nice frame job by Cooper McKenzie behind the plate. Couldn't get the call. Nathan Beckley waits on deck if Shannon could continue the inning. Shannon, a right-handed batter in there.
And this is great what we're seeing from Bell, the ability to stay in after you mentioned 10 straight balls. Now he's starting to force Youngstown State to have to swing their bats, and he's catching several guys just one batter short of not allowing a run in this inning.
The count 2-1 on Shannon. Swing and a miss by him at the plate. Evens up the count at 2 apiece. Logan Bell looking to get out of the inning without allowing any damage. He started with runners on first and second and nobody out after walking the first 2 batters and throwing 9 strikes in a row to begin this game. Now 2 outs in the inning. His 2-2 delivery to Brady Shannon just missed a bit up high. And the count goes full to 3-2. Big pitch upcoming for Logan Bell. Chance to escape out of the inning for Youngstown State. Chance to continue this inning and look to get on the board early. Bell comes set, delivers, runner is off for the full count and 2 outs, and it's a bit outside and down low for ball 4. Third walk of this first inning for Logan Bell, and runners on first and second again for Youngstown State, this time with 2 outs.
So a bit of an upgrade from the start of the inning where you had runners on first and second and no outs, but now you still have to get that third, and up will come Nathan Beckley.
Beckley, redshirt sophomore utility player from Aliso Viejo, California. First pitch up high to Beckley, a .284 batter this season. He's a patient hitter at the plate. 14 walks this year. He has a walk in 3 straight games. Beckley played the past 2 seasons out west at Golden West College. He started his career at San Francisco State, where he redshirted as a freshman. Another Bowling Green player going to run down to the bullpen, down that left field line. Some activity up there in the pen for the Falcons, out in left field. 2-0 at the plate, now 3-0 as this one's in the dirt by Logan Bell. Major control issues for Bell here in this first inning. He's walked 3 batters total. The outs coming out on a cut stealing. Kyle Fossum trying to steal third. Cooper McKenzie gunned him down. And Logan Bell striking out Cole Smith. His 3-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike to get back into it. Count now 3-1. Standing on second for Youngstown State is Tommy Rover. Brady Shannon stands at first. Bell's 3-1 pitch to Beckley. Right down the middle once again for a strike, and the count now goes full to 3-2.
And great recovery there by Logan Bell. You go down very early in the pitch count, already given up a whole lot of balls, and now you've got it full. Got to try and get that bat off the shoulder of Beckley and force him to swing at something.
Full count for Logan Bell. Just misses down and inside for ball 4. 4th walk of the inning for Bell, 2nd in a row. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st for Garrett Cutting.
And that is a tough look if you are Logan Bell. Had a guy right there. Now the bases are loaded. You've got Garrett Cutting.
And Kyle Halleck now going to come out to the mound. We'll see if it's an early pitching change or if he's looking to calm Bell down, go over the situation.
And as I was saying, Tyler, Cutting, .250 batting average. Started in every game so far for YSU. He in his 116 at-bats, he's got 29 hits for 24 runs, 7 doubles, and a triple and a home run with 12 RBI. So not the most at moving the base paths, but he's able to get the bat off his shoulder a bit more than the others in this lineup, and it's a very middle of the pack towards bottom of the pack in hitting for Youngstown State. So a good secondary weapon, if you will.
It'll just be a normal mound visit for Kyle Halleck. He'll go back to the Bowling Green dugout. And Logan Bell will continue on the mound. Youngstown State has made Logan Bell work, to say the least, here in this bottom of the 1st. Bell's had major control issues. The bases are loaded for the Penguins with 2 outs. Bowling Green up 2-0 here in the 1st inning. First pitch to Garrett Cutting. Check swing at the plate. Kind of half swing there. And it's in for a strike.
You could say he took a cut at that one, Tyler.
Boy, that pun just fell a little short there, Chaz.
Well, it was long enough to pass the home plate for a check swing.
This one misses the outside. Count now 1-1 on Cutting. Cutting, a redshirt junior infielder from Las Vegas, Nevada. Chaz, you were just out there for a conference.
Yeah, I was. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing I am. It is cold out here right now.
1-1 pitch to Cutting, swinging, popping it up. And it's going to drift out of play. Count will move to 1-2.
Tyler, why didn't you get that ball? It popped up right next to us. I mean,
little out of my reach, Chaz. We'll see. We have the window open here, so we may have one fly up towards us. We'll have to wait and see. Cutting batting .250 this season. He's riding a 4-game hitting streak. A .269 batter last season. Went 2 for 5 with 2 runs batted in the first game against Bowling Green this year. Fastball misses just a bit outside by Logan Bell. Count goes even to 2-2. Bell not really getting many calls on the corners of the plates here in this first inning. Again, 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st. Bowling Green up 2-0. Bases loaded for Youngstown State. Logan Bell's 2-2 pitch to Cutting. His check swung on and dribbled up the middle to Bell. He fields it, throws over to first. And Bell, although he walks 4 batters in the first inning, escapes without allowing a run. Bowling Green leads 2-0 as we head to the top of the 2nd right here at Eastwood Field on WBGU 88.1 FM.
listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
Baseball will hit the road and travel across the state to play a non-conference game against Youngstown State on Wednesday, April 9th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil will have the call starting at 4:45 for pregame and 5 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Back here at Eastwood Field, Tyler Kavelitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Bowling Green leading 2-0 as we head to the top of the second. And I told you we were going to tell you a little bit about this field as we went on through the broadcast. So, Chaz, this is the home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. I was telling you on the car ride, I'm a Cleveland baseball fan myself, so I've been here for a game before when they were the affiliate of the then Cleveland Indians. Now Cleveland Guardians. You can call them Cleveland Baseball Franchise, I guess, if you'd like to. They were the affiliate for Cleveland from 1999 to 2020. And when COVID hit, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of the MLB, kind of shifted up things in the minor leagues a little bit, realigned a bunch of stuff. So they went from being an affiliate for Cleveland, Mahoning Valley, or Lynchburg came in with the Hellcats for that. They then became a founding member of the MLB Draft League in 2021, where they are still today. First pitch is a ball outside to Zach Horkey. It'll be Horkey, Antillian, Motis, 6, 7, 8, due up for the Falcons. This one misses inside, so it's 2-0 on Horkey.
And it was a great play there by Logan Bell to get that third out scoreless. So Falcons up 2. Got out, no damage in the first, now in the second, looking to add more to their lead.
Fastball thrown in for a strike. Count moves to 2-1. Big swing and a miss by Horkey. Evens up the count at 2-2. Pelja still out there on the mound for Youngstown State. Gave up just one hit, but those 2 runs in the first inning. This one misses a bit outside on the off-speed. Looked like a little bit of a sweeper there for Haroon Pelja. And the count goes full to 3-2 with nobody out here in the top of the second. Zach Horkey, one of those 3 Bowling Green catchers that have been in numerous games this season. Big swing by Horkey, drills this left field. Is it going to stay fair is the question. Will not. That one was absolutely murdered by Zach Horkey down that left field line, but a little too much spin on it, and it goes foul. It was way gone if it was fair.
If that ball is fair 364 days out of the week. It was just a little bit too far to the left for Horkey, but you got to like him sizing that ball up, getting a good chunk off of it.
And strike 3 looking for Zach Horkey. He is down on strikes for the first out of the inning. The first strikeout of the game for Pelja.
Now batting the shortstop, number 41, Gunnar Antillian.
So next up is going to be Gunnar Antillian for Bowling Green. 293 batting average of the year. The go-to shortstop for the Orange and Brown, 116 at-bats. He's got 22 runs with 34 hits. Has yet to hit one over the fence with a triple and 7 doubles.
And not a lot of power from the bat of Antillian. He's up in the lineup a little bit. He's gotten kind of comfortable down there in the 9-hole for the Falcons during a recent stretch, up to the 7 spot here today. First pitch ball, now this one foul-tipped at the plate. Count moves to 1-1. Carter Motis awaits on deck, awaiting his first career collegiate at-bat.
That is going to be an exciting one, Tyler, a name that you and I both did not think we would hear today, getting his first collegiate start.
This one not caught cleanly by Hadley behind the plate, and it's outside for a ball either way, so the count 2-1. Gunnar Antillion, senior infielder for Bowling Green, a little bit of a collegiate journeyman, played his first 2 seasons at New Mexico State, last season at Cal Baptist, and now here in Bowling Green for his final collegiate year. The 2-1 pitch to him, up high, and another time right here, skids past the glove of Hadley. Back-to-back pitches past Hadley, one outside, one up high.
Well, it also is not helpful that we are starting to see Pelja kind of starting to deteriorate just a little bit. The balls that were supposed to be hitting the zone are now a bit higher, a bit more wilder, and a little harder to predict for Hadley.
This off-speed comes back into the zone for a strike. Count goes full to 3-2. Antillion batting just 167 over the past 4 games. 2 for 12 at the plate. Overall this season, a .293 hitter. Full count, 3-2. Pelja delivers. Fouled off to the left side. We'll do it again with a full count.
So staying alive is Antillion, taking a little chop at that ball. Bouncing it up, went over to the Falcon side of the dugout.
Pelja taking his time on the mound. Definitely works at his own pace. The 3-2 pitch once again. This one hit Antillion. Almost went behind him, caught a piece of him. Would have been ball 4 either way, but it goes down as a hit by pitch for Gunnar Antillion. He gets a free 90 feet to first base, and that brings up Carter Motice for his first collegiate at-bat. This is a fun one for Bowling Green. Wasn't sure if we would see Motice get at-bats this season as a true freshman, but he's going to get one right here for Bowling Green. Motice, a freshman outfielder, 5'10", 169 from Canal Fulton, Ohio, went to Massillon Jackson High School. First pitch near his head, ducks below it for a ball.
That was nearly his first and last at-bat of the day, as that ball was right upstairs towards the black helmet the Falcons are wearing right now.
And fun fact here, Motice was actually teammates with Garrett Wright back at Jackson High School. Jackson, a powerhouse in Ohio high school baseball. This one thrown behind Motice, as it's going to be a free trip down to second base for Gunnar Antillion on the wild pitch. And I got to say, Pelja's control is all over the place right now.
Yeah, Tyler, I hinted at it a little bit earlier, but his control was decent in that first inning, but you could see signs that he was starting to fatigue a little bit earlier than he should. And now in this inning, top of the second, he's struggling to really just hit the corners. You can tell he's trying to hit that outside corner, ends up weaving it around behind the back of the batters.
So Motice had a very decorated high school career at Jackson High School. Broke the Jackson career stolen bases record with 46. He's 4th all-time in career hits at Jackson with 104. 2nd all-time in career triples with 8. He's got a lot of speed on him. He's also part of a baseball family. He's the youngest of 5 brothers who have all played collegiate baseball. His older brother played baseball at Cincinnati. The other 3 played baseball at Malone. He is a baseball guy by blood. Big swing and a miss by him at the plate. Count goes to 2-1.
Nearly spinning himself out of his shoes there is Motice. Just maybe it's nerves, just a big swing, like you mentioned. He'll get his footing here in a second.
After the players-only mound meeting, Pelja looking to regain control. Another big swing and a miss by Motice. Just like that, count goes from 2-0 to even 2-2. Braden Curlis, another freshman, awaits on deck. Back-to-back freshmen in the 8-9 spots in the batting order for Kyle Halleck here today. The 2-2 pitch to Motice. This one flown out left field. Coming in is Shannon. The left fielder makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Motice flies out to left field in his first career collegiate at-bat.
I mean, there's worse ways to go down in your first collegiate at-bat. Didn't go down looking, went down swinging. That was a very high hit ball. If he was able to just bloop it a little bit more, he might have gotten it to place. That was a very solid shot by the freshman.
2 outs in the inning now. Runner on second still for the Falcons in the form of Gunnar Antillion. Braden Curlis, the 9-hole hitter, up to bat for the Falcons. First pitch by Pelja. Inside down low for a ball. So as I was mentioning with Eastwood Field, this was built in 1998, opened in 1999 for that first season of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. They've been the home of the Youngstown State Penguins since 2000. $8.3 million construction cost. It holds 6,000 for baseball events, 10,000 for other sporting events. 2-0 count now on Braden Curlis at the plate. We were talking about how it's a very similar layout to the field up in Avon, home of the Lake Erie Crushers. Crusher Stadium.
Crushers definitely seats a lot more, I'd argue.
Big swing and a miss by Curlis at the plate. Count goes to 2-1. I think I'd have to agree with you on that one, Chaz. Has a little bigger of a feel. This one, still a very nice looking stadium by any means. Got a nice background with the Northeast Ohio woods.
Oh, yeah.
The 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss once again by Braden Curlis. You can see some buds starting on some of the trees out there in the outfield. Spring is definitely in full swing here. Although we have had some snow, so winter's still trying to creep back into it.
I will say I wouldn't call it full swing just yet.
Yeah, maybe a little bit ahead of myself there. As Braden Curlis goes down on strikes, 3 straight swing and misses to end the at-bat for Curlis. And Pelja gets out of the inning without allowing a run. We head to the bottom of the second. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 2-0 at Eastwood Field on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU senior pitcher Connor Penrod earned saves in all 3 games in Mount Pleasant, Michigan against the Chippewas, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week award. Penrod carries a 1.19 earned run average through a weekend on the road where he threw 3 1/3 scoreless innings, striking out 2 of 9 in a week. That also earned him his first weekly conference award and the squad's second of the year. The Wauseon, Ohio native is tied for 8th in the country with 8 saves this season, which is also tied for the most in a single season in program history. Penrod has allowed just 2 earned runs in 50.
Back here at Eastwood Field, Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 2-0. Heading to the bottom of the second. It'll be Jay Rona, Caleb Hadley, Eli Brown due up for the Penguins, 7, 8, 9 in their batting order. And I believe that is still Logan Bell out there on the mound to begin the second inning for Bowling Green.
I believe so. My eyes might be deceiving me here.
It is still Logan Bell out there to begin the second inning. Interesting. I think we kind of had the feeling that that may have been the end of Logan Bell's day, but Kyle Halleck's had to dig deep in some of the pitching, especially in that Miami series, so it would make sense he wants to try to get as much out of Bell as he can. First pitch strike to Rona before he fouls this one off into the seats to the left side. Now down to the count 0-2.
And Jay Rona, 365 batting average, second best slugger on the team in terms of consistency, 462 slugging percentage. He has yet to hit a home run. He's got 1 triple, 3 doubles, yet another not power guy.
Fouls this one off into the netting behind the plate. Rona Chaz on an 8-game hitting streak. He has a 365 batting average, as you noted, the second best on the team, but a 429 batting average over the past 8 games. 12 for 28 at the plate with 7 RBIs during that span. He also he's struck out just 4 times to 3 walks during that recent stretch. This one thrown up for a ball. Count moves to 1-2.
And Tyler, this will be a very good test for Logan Bell, who's ahead in the count early 1-2. Try and get a hard-to-get-out batter.
Fastball outside, count goes even to 2-2. His pitch count still not especially high, just a little bit over 30 beginning this second inning. Walked 4 batters in that first inning, did not allow a run though. Good damage control. A weak ground ball up to him at the mound with the bases loaded and 2 outs to end the inning. As Off Speed misses up high, count goes full to 3-2. He's just been a little all over the place here today. He hasn't been missing in one consistent spot. It's been basically every pitch. He's had a hard time finding the zone every which way.
That's the 3rd straight ball.
As this one grounded up the middle, Bell tries to barehand it, pulls his hand back, fielded at short by Antillion, and a nice throw across the diamond to Ganon over at first for the first out of the inning.
And Tyler, that is why you bring in expert fielders like Antillion. He's a guy that you brought in as a fielder primarily to develop as a batter. Has he been perfect as a fielder? No. But a dribbling ball past second base, able to scoop it up very quickly, throw to Ganon, close it out, and that's 1 out for Logan Bell.
Yeah, and I like what you bring up there. He hasn't been a perfect fielder. We talked a ton about his glove as Caleb Hadley, the catcher, comes up to the plate. Halleck talked about his glove a ton before the season of how he just looked like a natural finding the balls out there at shortstop as the strike thrown in by Logan Bell to begin the at-bat. He has just a .931 fielding percentage coming into today's game, committed 3 errors in the series against Central Michigan, did not commit an error against the series against Miami. He looks to be getting a little more comfortable now over there at shortstop, adjusting to this level of play within the Mid-American Conference.
Yeah, Tyler, I think you're right about that. Just able to settle him down and get him going. Because when he has a bad game, he doesn't just have 1 error. He usually has several. But when he has a great game, you cannot forget about him.
It's an 0-2 count now at the plate on Caleb Hadley. Bell's next pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by McKenzie behind the plate. Logan Bell 1 strikeout to 4 walks here today. Second career collegiate start. His first one coming way back in 2020 with the Akron Zips during that COVID-shortened season. This one also misses. Count goes to 2-2. His first career start here at Bowling Green, and he's kind of chasing something here at BG. He does not have a win or a loss in his time at Bowling Green, looking for his first career decision here today. This one chopped over but foul to the left side. The count stays at 2-2. Kind of a repeat of the last at-bat with Jay Rona. We saw Bell got ahead early 0-2 in the count and then fell back in the count to 2-2. He's done the same thing here to Hadley.
And something about all of this Youngstown State batting lineup is that they are all patient. They're not going to take chops. Now they can, but they're usually good shots.
Big swing and miss at the plate by Hadley. He goes down on strikes. Second strikeout of the day for Logan Bell. And the second out of the inning bring up Eli Brown, the 9-hole hitter for the Penguins.
And Tyler, you don't see this a whole lot often with how many games me and you both broadcast. But if Brown were to strike out or get out right now, we'd have both offenses for both teams start with their 1 hitter for the 3rd inning, which you can't see. I can't say you see every day.
Yeah, Kyle Fossum, you mentioned the leadoff hitter, the most dangerous hitter by far on this Penguins team, and you could very well make the argument for the most dangerous hitter in all of the Horizon League. Waiting on deck. First pitch, a ball to Eli Brown up high by Logan Bell. Bell's next pitch just misses up off the top of the zone, 2-0.
And you mentioned it, Tyler, that top corner, a place where he's barely missing it, but if he's not missing there, he's missing somewhere else. So consistently missing the corners of the zone.
He's going with those high fastballs, a dangerous game to play against some of these Youngstown State hitters. It's 3-0. He's missed on all 3, and his pitch count now approaching 50, Chaz.
That's an issue when you get those long, sustained at-bats. Your pitch count starts to rise very quickly.
3-0 pitch by Bell. Fastball right down Broadway for a strike. Count goes to 3-1. Brown this season batting .174. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI and 3 strikeouts in the first game against Bowling Green. The 3 strikeouts were the most for him in a single game this season as he looks at ball 4, which barely misses off of the zone. The 5th walk of the game by Logan Bell, and that brings up Kyle Fossum back to the top of the order with a runner on and 2 outs.
And Tyler, I was going to say, I'm not really sure where that ball missed. It looked like from our angle he was right down Broadway, but home plate umpire Jason Snyder said otherwise. As now, you mentioned it again, Tyler, a very dangerous hitter in Fossum with a man on first. That is a dangerous combo.
First pitch to Fossum in there for a strike. First strike Fossum has seen today. He walked on 4 straight balls to begin this game. Was part of those 9 straight balls to begin Logan Bell's outing. Bell's 0-1 pitch to Fossum. Big swing on this one. Drilled deep left field. Is it going to stay fair? Will not. That was almost identical to Zach Corky's big blast to left field. Both of those absolutely demolished, but both of them hooked foul.
And that is very good luck if you are Logan Bell and if you are Pelja, because those did not miss by much. They didn't go out by much. And it's the difference between 2 runs for Youngstown and a run for BG.
Fossum batting .440 on the season. Now down the count 0-2. Looks at a ball down and outside for a 1-2 count. Almost has a Soto shuffle there at the plate. Looked at that ball, went up in the box and back towards the back. Interesting move by Fossum after the ball. Fossum this season, as I mentioned, a .440 batter, but goes down on strikes swinging there. A violent swing on the 3rd strike. And 2nd strikeout of the inning, 3rd of the day for Logan Bell. Works a much cleaner 2nd inning. As we go to the top of the 3rd, Bowling Green leading 2-0. We'll have the introduction of the trivia question when we come back right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Back here on WBGU 88.1 FM, Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. We have made the journey out to just outside Youngstown State University in Niles, Ohio, at Eastwood Field, the home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. And as we've done all season, Chaz, have the introduction of the trivia question here at the top of the 3rd. So I will pose this to you, Kevin Hutchinson, back in the WBGU 88.1 studio at the Coolene Center on the campus of BGSU, and to all of our listeners at home. So the trivia question today for you, Chaz, is going to be which franchise has turned the most triple plays, the most unassisted triple plays, I should clarify, in MLB history. So, of course, an unassisted triple play made by a single player getting 3 outs on the same play.
Are they still active?
It's the franchise with the most, not the player. So the franchises you have to choose from
Is it still an active franchise?
It is still an active franchise. So I went with the Cleveland baseball franchise. I think is the best way to approach that one. Okay. Then you have the St. Louis Cardinals, the New York Yankees, and Chicago Cubs. So once again, which franchise has turned the most unassisted triple plays in MLB history? A, the Cleveland baseball franchise, B, the St. Louis Cardinals, C, the New York Yankees, or D, the Chicago Cubs. You will have until the top of the 5th to give me a final answer, but do you have any initial thoughts?
Okay. I'm narrowing it down just a little bit. I think it's either the Cardinals or the Cubs, and let me explain why. I think you're a Cleveland guy, I'm a Cleveland guy. I don't think you'd pull that because I think you'd have already told me at a point. And I don't think it's the Yankees because that's a face of the MLB that I don't think it would be either, but it's a good guess.
As the first pitch of the inning hits TJ Tackett. He'll go down to first. Second hit by pitch by Pelja.
That's actually not
that is
Pelja.
not
That's what I
Pelja.
was going to say. That is Tyler Heflin, the freshman righty. He is from Westchester, Ohio, went to Archbishop Moeller, and in high school he was the 39th overall player in the state of Ohio by perfect game, 2.45 ERA as a senior. So far this year has seen a little bit of action, actually a pretty good amount, 25 and a third innings pitched, 36 hits for 37 runs, 27 of those earned with 14 walks.
So Seidel comes up to the plate now, had the big 2-run home run back in the first inning, the only run scored here today. As Heflin begins his outing with a hit by pitch, not the greatest start. This one in there for a strike, though.
A first pitch hit by pitch as well.
Yeah.
That is a tough look if you're Heflin. Very tough starts by all the pitchers we've seen so far today.
This one also in for a strike, so the count moves to 1-2. Heflin last pitched on Sunday, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs allowed, a strikeout, and a hit by pitch. He also gave up 2 doubles in that outing. He's been susceptible to the double. 5 doubles allowed in his past 4 outings for Heflin. As this one misses down low, count now goes even to 2-2. Sam Seidel looking to stay hot at the plate for Bowling Green. Next pitch is dribbled foul to the right side. Sam Seidel has 2 game-winning hits this year. He has not struck out in 6 straight games, and now with that 2-run homer, he has 8 RBIs in the past 5 games. Really settled into the lineup for Bowling Green. Drills this one down the left side past a diving rover at third. It's going to go to the wall, rounding third and coming around for home is TJ Tackett, and it's going to be an RBI double for Sam Seidel. Give him 3 RBIs in the first 3 innings for Bowling Green as they go up 3-0 against Youngstown State.
Wow, Tyler, that is all I can say to that one. He tucked that ball into the left corner and said good night. That is how well placed it was, dribbling down the third base line into that left corner, and Shannon struggling with it. You could see he tried to pick it up, almost slipped out of his hands, and that is a double for a 1 RBI and a massive day brewing if you're Sam Seidel.
Brings up Garrett Wright, who has arguably been the best hitter in the Mid-American Conference this season. Looks at a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Big field here at Eastwood Field. 405 out to center field, which is further than a lot of major league stadiums nowadays. Swing and a miss by Wright at the plate. When looking at the other dimensions for this stadium, it's 335 down both of those lines towards right field and left field. The 0-2 pitch to Wright is chopped to the left side to Cutting at short, fielded by him, and couldn't pick it at first is Beckley. That throw was in the dirt. Beckley tried to backhand pick it and fell out of his glove, so Garrett Wright's going to be safe at first.
And a bit of fielding issues. Now we've seen back-to-back. You have Shannon in deep left struggling there. Beckley and then Hadley in that first inning had the hesitation that kept TJ Tackett on the base paths, I believe.
So that's going to be a throwing error by shortstop Cutting. E6 allows Garrett Wright to reach safely. Right on first, Seidel on second for Gavin, the cleanup hitter for the Falcons. First pitch looking is in there for a strike. Glennon grounded out to second, his first time up, back in the first. Bowling Green in prime position here with nobody on the inning to strike for more runs, already up 3-0 in the top of the third over Youngstown State. Fastball misses outside for Tyler Heflin.
And you were right there. It is going to be a throwing error, but they're They're ruling that on cutting.
Pickoff attempt to second, just back in time is Seidel. Playing way off the bag was Cole Smith at second, and it was a race to the bag. Seidel beat him.
Seidel a little slow to get up there. It looked like his leg went into the leg of Smith. He's okay now as he's starting to take a bit more of a healthy lead.
The 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner. 2 gone for a strike. Haroon Pelja's final line goes 2 innings, gives up a hit, 2 runs, which are both earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts across 43 pitches. Heflin has not had a ton more success, already giving up a run here in the top of the third. Runners on first and second for Bowling Green with nobody out. But Gavagadon behind in the count, 1-2 at the plate. The payoff pitch by Heflin found to the back into the netting behind home plate by Gannon. Pretty big backstop behind the plate here at Eastwood Field. So the defense by the catcher is going to be crucial here in this bigger minor league park. Count still 1-2. Heflin's next pitch catches the outside corner. Strike 3 looking on Gavagadon. Down on strikes for the first time today and the 38th time this season.
And that is a factor of Gavin Gannon. He's a high-risk, high-reward player, and the fact that he does tend to float towards the top of the MAC in strikeouts, but when he does get bat-to-ball contact, that ball is sayonara, see you later.
Coop McKenzie now into the box for Bowling Green. First pitch he sees from Heflin. Thought about going, held back. It's in there for a strike with the fastball. Heflin settled in over the past couple of batters with that control. Came out a little wild, hitting TJ Tackett with his first pitch of the inning. This one misses outside for a ball. Count now 1-1 on Coop McKenzie. McKenzie grounding out to short his first time up. Off and running at second is Sam Seidel. He steals third without a throw.
And you could tell there, Hadley thought that he was going to be able to catch Guerra right stealing. Looked over at right, saw no movement, and right behind his head was Seidel running.
And that's something different today. There's a lot on tape of Bowling Green doing double steals this season. We haven't seen one today. When a runner is off, it's just one of the two on base. Bowling Green does that there, tricks Hadley, the catcher. And safely at third is Sam Seidel, his 9th stolen base on 12 attempts this season. Seidel doing a little bit of everything here for Bowling Green today. 3 RBIs, a home run, a double, and now a stolen base.
Sam Seidel having himself a day. Falcons up 3-0 as well, trying to add to that.
2-1 count by McKenzie at the plate. Lays down a bunt here. It's going to stay fair. And coming in from first base, the umpire, Kyle Reese, going to yell the ball is dead. So it must have hit McKenzie in the box. That's the only thing I can think of. It was a perfectly placed bunt if it did not hit him, though, because Hadley came out from his catcher position, and charging in from first was Beckley. There was nobody covering the bag if that was a fair bunt.
And that was perfectly played by Sam Seidel as well. He almost faked the throw. You could tell when he got about halfway down the third base line, he was not going to go, and all eyes were on Seidel.
No bunt shown by McKenzie. Misses off the outside corner. And the count goes full to 3-2. 1 out here in the top of the third. Bowling Green up 3-0 over Youngstown State. Runners on the corners for the Falcons. Full count pitch to Coop McKenzie, swinging, fouls it off to the right side. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Great job by Cooper McKenzie as well to stay alive. You had the bunt and then the ball. It was a 1-2 count, I believe. That was 6 pitches ago. Able to just hang in there, trying to force the first walk of the day out of Heflin.
Heflin comes set. The full count pitch to McKenzie up high for ball 4. Bowling Green loads the bases with 1 out, and Zach Horkey coming up to the plate.
Zach Horkey does have a home run in him. He had one earlier this season. If he can get one over the fence, I believe, Tyler, that would be the first grand slam of the year for the Falcons.
Would be indeed. They had a few last season. Zach Horkey drilled one deep down the left field line, but foul back in the first. First pitch he sees, looking. It's a fastball for a strike. Down the count 0-1, struck out looking his first time up in the second. Next pitch by Heflin, also in there for a strike. Quickly down the count 0-2 is Zach Horkey. Gunnar Antillian awaits on deck.
This opens up a world of possibilities for Heflin. He can play with Horkey a little bit.
Horkey looks at a ball down low. Standing on first is Coot McKenzie. Garrett Wright on second. Sam Seidel on third. The 1-2 pitch to Horkey, drilled up the middle, past Smith at second. Scoring is Seidel from third. Every runner going to move up a base. It's an RBI single by Zach Horkey.
That was a great diving attempt there by Smith. Unable to really get his glove on it, though. And I thought he had it. That's how close he was to that catch. Just a bit short, and now the Falcons up 4.
One of the hardest hit balls of the day results in an RBI single for Zach Horkey. And like you mentioned, Bowling Green up 4-0. Gunnar Antillian to the plate, looks at first pitch strike. That's one thing I'll give credit to Heflin for is the past few batters in this inning. He's definitely been doing a good job of getting ahead of them in these at-bats. It's just been the control towards the back end of the at-bats that he struggled with. This one gets past the catcher Hadley, but just goes to the left of him, does not go really behind him, gives no chance for Garrett Wright to advance home. Base is still loaded for the Falcons. It's now Zach Horkey at first, Coot McKenzie at second, and Garrett Wright at third. Tackett and Seidel, the first 2 batters in the lineup for Bowling Green, have scored both times they've been up today. This one up and in to Antillian, backs away from it. And he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Bowling Green wasting no time with their offense here today, quite opposite of the first game on March 25th between these two teams at Stellar Field, where the Falcons scored 8 runs in the 7th inning to put them over the top for the win in that game.
And we're starting to see that identity of the Falcons being comeback kids.
Yeah.
It's starting to regress a little bit. They're finding their identity now, able to be a little bit more consistent, which is what we asked for, and now they're starting to score early.
3-1 pitch by Heflin, misses inside, and Tyler Heflin walks in a run. Give the RBI to Gunnar Antillian as Garrett Wright crosses home plate to make it 5-0 Bowling Green. And we're going to have a mound visit here for Youngstown State as more bodies head down towards the bullpen in right field. The bullpen door is open, so I'd have to imagine it's probably a pitching change coming up here. We will see.
It's only getting colder as well, Tyler, as it is a very gloomy day. Also gloomy if you are a Youngstown State Penguin, with the Falcons zooming out to a 5-0 lead, not even halfway through the 3rd inning. And Heflin will stay on the mound here.
No pitching change. That bullpen door will get shut for the time being.
The right fielder, number 17, Carter Motis.
As Carter Motis comes up to the plate, boy, is this a perfect scenario for Motis to get his first hit of his collegiate career. Bases loaded for him with 1 out of the inning. Bowling Green up 5-0. First pitch to Motis. Looks at a fastball right down the middle for a strike.
You ever been to Denny's, Tyler?
Oh, boy, not this again.
You know, I was talking to a broadcaster for the Lynchburg Hillcats, and he liked it.
As Motis puts a swing on this one, but fouls it off to the left side. Well, what's your favorite thing to order from Denny's, Chaz?
Well, you know, it really does depend. Because I don't know, sometimes I'm feeling pancakes, sometimes waffles, but my favorite thing might be a grand slam.
0-2 count. Motice puts a good swing on this one. Drills it left field. First career collegiate hit for Carter Motice. Scores 2. Coming around third. They're going to hold up Gunnar Antillian. It's a 2 RBI double for Carter Motice for his first career collegiate hit with the Bowling Green Falcons.
I was close. I nearly predicted that if that ball had a little bit more lift, but man, you can feel the energy emulating out of the bullpen, or not out of the bullpen, out of the dugout for Bowling Green as Carter Motice smoked that baseball, giving the Falcons now a 6-0 lead. No, a 7-0 lead, excuse me.
First pitch, a swing and a miss to Braden Curlis, chased one to the outside. What a great moment for Carter Motice in his first career collegiate game, his second at-bat. He gets his first hit of his young career for the Falcons. A 2 RBI double as this one fouled down the right side by Braden Curlis. Down the count 0-2. That's a moment that Motice will never forget.
And I'd say, Tyler, Motice is a name I don't think we should forget either. There was a reason he was put in the lineup at this moment, and we just saw a big play potential there from the true freshman.
The 0-2 pitch to Braden Curlis, drilled sharply to shortstop, cutting fielded it, then lost it, spun around looking for the ball as it was sitting just in front of him to the right, and safe at first is going to be Braden Curlis, and the Falcons have loaded the bases again, and they have hit around here in the third.
Everything is going wrong right now for Youngstown State. Just one out, and the Falcons are mashing and getting the opportunities, and Youngstown State just struggling. And Tyler, you think there's a Denny's around here?
They have to open Google Maps to look for that one, as it's a first pitch ball thrown into TJ Tackett's. Speaking of the Grand Slam, TJ Tackett's had 2 of them last year, one at Ohio State and one against Ball State in the MAC tournament. This one dribbled lightly to the ground to the right side, fielded by the first baseman, Beckley, and he flips it to Heflin, who just beats Tackett's to the bag, but give Tackett's the RBI as scoring is Gunnar Antillian.
So now you have yet another moment where Bowling Green are still in it, and you've got Sam Seidel coming up with runners in scoring position, and he's already scored a home run today.
They're going to give Braden Curlis a single on that hard hit ball to short just a few plays ago. Like you mentioned, Sam Seidel up for the second time this inning. He's just a single and a triple away from the cycle here in the third. A 2-run home run in the first and a double in the third. 3 RBIs and a stolen base to his name here today. Fastball down low for a ball. The count 2-0 on Seidel. Runners on second and third. Braden Curlis on second. Carter Motice on third. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch misses outside, and it's 3-0 to Sam Seidel. Garrett Wright awaits on deck.
Yet another player you don't want coming up if you are Youngstown State. They are really in a pickle here, but those 2 outs could save them as you need just one poorly placed ball by Seidel.
He won't even have the opportunity to put a swing on one as it misses inside. A 4-pitch walk to Sam Seidel. Seidel's reached base safely in all 3 at-bats here today. All 3 plate appearances, I should say. And it brings up Garrett Wright, but not before we're going to have a pitching change here at Eastwood Field. New pitcher coming in for the Penguins when we come back. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 8-0 in the top of the third. 2 outs, bases loaded for the Falcons. Right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
New pitcher on the mound for Youngstown State in the form of Gavin Wilms. Wilms, a sophomore right-hander for the Penguins. From Salem, Ohio, stands at 6'3", 225, 0-2 this season with a 17.36 ERA, 4 2/3 innings pitched. This will be a sixth appearance, all out of the bullpen. Coming out to Metallica on the mound.
Walk-up song.
Great. Jacob Turner for Bowling Green also comes out to Metallica. 6 strikeouts to 4 walks this season for Wilms. A .375 opponent batting average and a 2.79 whip.
And Tyler, I know we're talking about Youngstown State pitching right now, but Bowling Green was just gifted this opportunity now. You mashed their pitchers. I don't know if they might go with another inning of Logan Bell. He's getting some time to rest up his arm. His pitch count was high, but he did turn it around in that second inning.
Still right-handed arm up in the pen for Bowling Green. Don't know exactly who that is. As Garrett Wright's up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch inside, and it hit him. Garrett Wright, 2 hit-by pitches today, and that's going to score another run for Bowling Green. Carter Motice comes around to score. Every other runner advances a base. Falcons up 9-0. So just like we saw with Tyler Heflin, Heflin and Wilms both hit a batter on their first pitches of their outings.
It's been a tough day for Youngstown State pitching, to say the least. They've been able to turn it around in some aspects. We saw a pretty good longevity out of Pelja, but
Ganun sends this one out deep right center field. Going back is Brown, catches it on the warning track to end the inning. Ganun almost gave it a ride, but not enough. However, Bowling Green scores 7 in the top of the third. They lead Youngstown State 9-0, heading to the bottom half of the inning right here on WBG 88.1 FM. For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here at Eastwood Field, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers Bowling Green, leading Youngstown State today in the non-conference battle 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. And it's going to be a new pitcher on for Bowling Green. And I did predict it correctly, Chaz. That was Kate Arn going down to the bullpen, and he will be on to pitch here for Bowling Green.
And you know, just for that, Tyler, on our drive back, during that 3-hour stretch, I'll find a cookie somewhere for you in that prediction. Kate Arn is one of those players for Bowling Green where he's been developing throughout his time, and slowly he is turning into one of those go-to middle-inning stretch arms for Bowling Green. So far this season, he's got an 11.88 ERA, and in 7 appearances, he's pitched 8 1/3 innings, allowed 15 hits for 15 runs, 11 of those earned, 5 walks and 5 strikeouts, very evenly matched. His one big weakness, the home run ball. He's got 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 over the wall.
He'll be pitching to Tommy Rover, Cole Smith, Brady Shannon, 2, 3, 4 in the batting order for Youngstown State. First pitch to Rover, misses outside for a ball. This one in there for a strike. Count goes even to 1-1. Final line for Logan Bell goes 2 innings, does not give up a hit or a run, but does walk 5 batters, strikes out 3. Not the prettiest, but does not give up a hit or a run. So there are pluses and negatives to that start for Logan Bell. I think the end result is good. Just to not see a run come across has to be a little bit of a confidence booster, if anything, for Bell.
I mean, especially in the fact that you did start in a tough situation. He worked his way out of back-to-back innings where I believe, and I think you would believe the same thing, if you saw how they started, a run would have been scored. Yeah. That didn't end up happening, and in both aspects, Logan Bell escapes.
2-2 count at the plate on Tommy Rover. Next pitch from Kadarn, swing and a miss by Rover. Down on strikes, Kadarn collects a strikeout for his first out of his outing in the bottom of the third.
Next up is going to be number 20, Cole Smith. He struck out in his last appearance against Bell. Let's see if he will be able to get some contact. And you mentioned it, Tyler. We have yet to see a hit for the Penguins so far today.
First pitch by Arn. Fastball beautifully paints the outside corner. Nice pitch by Arn to begin the at-bat. Arn has either been very good in outings this season or he's had kind of blow-up appearances. He has 4 scoreless outings, but also 3 appearances with 3 or more runs given up. Had a 2.35 ERA in 6 games out of the bullpen across 7 2/3 innings pitched last season. This one chopped at the plate. And the count moves to 1-2 on Cole Smith, who struck out swinging his first time today.
Tyler, those are always some of the more painful injuries or quick hits that you suffer in the sport of baseball. A quick chop that bounces off the plate. And
this one driven up the middle, fielded backhand by Sam Seidel, turns, throws to first. Nice play by Seidel, and actually, that was not even Sam Seidel. That was Braden Curlis, the third baseman, playing to the right of Gunnar Antillion, the shortstop, right behind the second base bag. What a play by Braden Curlis for the second out of the inning. And that's something we've come to learn with Braden Curlis, the true freshman for Bowling Green, is that he has a great glove on him over there at third base.
You're right about that, Tyler. That was an electric play by Curlis. Great day to be both true freshmen in the form of Motice and Curlis. And right there, fielding has been amazing between Antillion and Curlis so far today.
First 2 pitches to Brady Shannon, balls. Shannon walked his first time up.
And Tyler, you did mention this on several broadcasts. Sam Seidel is turning into a phenomenal fielder to the point where you kind of expect plays like what we just saw to come from him.
I'm going to say it here. I think Sam Seidel, if the season ended today, I think he would get heavy consideration for MAC All-Defensive Team honors. We'll have to see how the season plays out. Garrett Wright behind the plate got those honors for Bowling Green last season, as there's the first hit of the game for Youngstown State. A hard-hit single driven into left field for Brady Shannon. Youngstown State finally gets on the board in the hits category. Runner on with 2 outs for Nathan Beckley. And you got to love, we talked about the walk-up songs with the Metallica song, the bullpen, Surfing the USA for Nathan Beckley. A little throwback when he comes up to the plate.
And Tyler, I think that's one of the best aspects of baseball, the walk-up songs, the energy.
We had fun with that when we went to the MAC tournament. We talked about Avon a couple times here today. We had fun with that, made our own rankings of our favorite walk-up songs for all those players in the MAC tournament. I fully agree with you there. I think it's just a unique aspect of baseball that makes this sport special, those walk-up songs. You don't really get that in other sports. Personalizes it a little more.
Usually in those other sports as well, you see the personality through the uniform or through certain different changes that people make or how they play the sport. But for baseball, it's not really like that. Besides the Gavin Gannon headband, every single Falcon looks almost the exact same in the same uniform.
Back-to-back batters. Cade Arn has started behind 2-0, but finds the strike zone there against Beckley. Count now 2-1. Runner on first for the first time in the form of a hit here today for Youngstown State, Brady Shannon. Beckley awaits the 2-1 pitch from Arn, catches the outside corner. Arn's had a couple good ones on that outside corner to left-handed hitters so far in his outing.
And that one might have caught Beckley off guard. He was walked last time up against Bell, and Logan Bell, we know, was just a bit off from those corners there. Arn able to tuck that one in, maybe catching him.
2-2 pitch by Arn. This one lofted into right center field, and that's going to fall in between Attackets and Mo Tice. And they're going to hold up Shannon at third base. It's going to be a 2-out double by Nathan Beckley. Runners on second and third for Youngstown State.
Bats starting to wake up here if you are YSU. And now you've got Cutting coming up. He grounded out in his first at-bat. Did get his bat working. Garrett Cutting, 250 average slugging. He's just at a 353. But don't count him out with 12 RBIs.
Into the box will be Garrett Cutting, as you mentioned. Chance to put Youngstown State on the board for the first time here today. Runners on second and third for him with 2 outs. Cade Arn, another beautiful job of painting the outside corner, this time to a right-handed batter for the first strikeout of the at-bat. It's Shannon over on third and Beckley on second. Arn's 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on the off-speed. He fooled Cutting, and he's down in the count now 0-2. Cutting was up with the bases loaded in the bottom of the first, and a weak ground out to Logan Bell to end that inning. Arn trying to get him to end the third inning now. His 0-2 pitch to him, another swing and a miss. Cade Arn gets the strikeout to end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Arn, and we go to the top of the fourth. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State here on the road, 9-0 on WBGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrapers and the Youngstown State baseball team. Bowling Green up on Youngstown State 9-0 as we head to the top of the fourth. As we've done this season, we have some history on this day. regarding to baseball specifically. So on this day in baseball history, Chaz, we have a lot of new stadium facts today. In 1912, the Boston Red Sox defeated Harvard University in an exhibition game in a snowstorm in the first game ever played at Fenway Park. And then a year later in 1913, the Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Brooklyn Superbas 1-0 in the first game in the history of Ebbets Field. Fast forward 80 more years to 1993, the Colorado Rockies defeated the Montreal Expos 11-4 at Mile High Stadium, home of the Denver Broncos, for their first ever victory, which also set a National League attendance record in their home debut with 80,227 fans. And another one that I did not have on here but saw on social media today, PNC Park also opened on this day in 2001. So you have 4 parks there opening on this day in baseball history. So really cool to look back on those. I've been to Fenway, a phenomenal park. So much history there. And PNC, I think, I regard as the best park in baseball that I've been to.
And Tyler, you mentioned the Expos. I know you're the trivia guy, but I do have some trivia for you.
Yeah.
Who's the last NFL player to have been drafted by the
Tom
Montreal?
Brady.
A little too easy for you?
I've seen that one a few times.
That one's so good, though.
It is
such
very
a good.
good. It is very good. It's a 2-1 count on Gavaganun here in the top of the 4th. This one outside. Count goes to 3-1. Ganun 0 for 2 on the day.
I believe, Tyler, that is Cooper McKenzie.
This one grounded to the left side. And that is Cooper McKenzie. That's my bad. Missed something there. So that is McKenzie who grounds out to the left side. So he is also 0 for 2 on the day. Grounds out to Cutting over there at short. And that'll bring up Zach Corky. Good catch by you there, Chas.
Didn't see the headband. I wish I knew the numbers by heart, but no, it was the headband that threw me off there.
Ganun ended the 3rd with a pretty loud flyout to right center field with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Zach Corky is 1 for 2 in the day, an RBI single and a strikeout looking. Foul tipped at the plate. May have bounced off his foot there. He's going to take a second to walk it off. We've seen a couple hitters do that, and it definitely, it stings normally, but it's got to hurt a little more today here in this weather. Not that Bowling Green wind, but it's still just 45 degrees here. 2-mile-per-hour sustained wind. There's wind gust 5-8 miles per hour. But the feel-like temperature is the same that it is currently, 45 degrees at Eastwood Field.
And, Tyler, I will say, coming from beautiful, sunny, hot Las Vegas with a nice dry heat.
See, that's something I can't attest to, being in the rainstorms of 2025 at Bowling Green. Speaking of baseball fields, there's a few of them right now, and most notably Great American Ballpark down in Cincinnati is basically flooded from the Ohio River. If you've seen those photos online, it's just insane right now what's going on throughout Ohio due to this recent rain. As it's going to be a 5-pitch walk to Zach Corky. He'll get a free trip down to first base with 1 out. So I'd have to imagine the run rule is on today, the 10 after 7. I have no confirmation. It's always determined by the home team's head coach. So we'll have to wait and see on that. If it is in effect, this game could end after 7 innings if Bowling Green is up by 10 at the conclusion of that 7th inning. We'll have to see if we get to that point if it is on. This one fouled away at the plate by Gunnar Antillion. He's been hit by a pitch and walked so far today. Has an RBI to his name. Was walked with the bases loaded. Little quirk in baseball. You get the RBI there for not even putting the bat on the ball. Drills this one to the left side. And Cutting tried to rodeo field it with a hand up in the air. And the glove down by the dirt. Skidded past the glove. And Antillion's going to reach first base safely.
And it's been a bad fielding day for Cutting so far. He really is struggling. A couple ground balls, a couple pop balls. Anytime you seem to, the Falcons are just seeming to pick on him a little bit now. And it's seemingly working, as with one out, there are runners on second and first, as up comes, yet again, Mo Tice.
Fresh off his first career collegiate hit. It's going to be a roll to single for Gunnar Antillion, fouled in the back of Hadley's glove by Mo Tice to begin his at-bat. This one misses for a ball. Count goes to 1-1.
I don't know about you, Tyler, but I am impressed by what we've seen out of Mo Tice and his ability to dissect the plate.
As this one drilled into left center field for another hit by Mo Tice. Coming around to score Zach Horkey, and they're going to hold up Antillion at third. Mo Tice in safely to second base. 2 doubles for Mo Tice in his collegiate debut.
What a debut this is. Who knows, Tyler? This might be a signal for some future decisions. As, like we mentioned at the top of this, there's still a good chunk of time before the Falcons need to fully solidify their roster. You can still try out a couple things. That's what's beautiful about baseball.
As not only for Mo Tice does he have 2 doubles, Chaz, he also has 3 runs batted in his collegiate debut. This is one of the more impressive collegiate debuts I can remember seeing during my time here at BGSU. For baseball players, this one skids past Hadley. Coming home to score on the wild pitch is Gunnar Antillion. Carter Mo Tice advances to third. Fielding woes once again for Youngstown State allows Bowling Green to go up 11-0.
Now the Falcons are just winning the war of attrition here, as a lot of the mistakes being made are a lot of the runs being scored are more based off of mistakes from Youngstown than anything else.
Brings up Braden Curlis, the 9-hole hitter. 1 for 2 on the day with a single. First pitch he sees, lines it through the right side for an RBI single that'll bring home Carter Mo Tice, and Bowling Green up 12-0.
Tyler, I might need some explaining from you here. We both have varied understandings of exactly certain aspects of this game. I need you to fill me in here. Why was first baseman Beckley playing all the way by second base with Rover, Cutting, and Smith also on that second to third base line?
Yeah, there was a wide open gap on the right side. I'm not sure I can answer that one, Chaz. That was a very questionable shift in the field by Youngstown State. Maybe anything to get a change, as we're going to have yet another pitching change here for the Penguins. So it'll be a runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 12-0 when we come back on WBGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Falcon softball play the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame on Wednesday, April 9th at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have a recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, Bowling Green leading 12-0 as we are still in the top of the fourth. New pitcher on for the Penguins in the form of Mark Henderson. Mark Henderson, a junior left-hander, first lefty we've seen in this game on either side. 6'4", 220 from Riverton, Utah. Played the past 2 seasons at the College of Southern Idaho. He'll be pitching to the top of the order, and TJ Tackett. This one misses wildly in the other batter's box, and it's going to be yet another wild pitch. Advancing to second is Braden Curlis. Boy, the control for the Youngstown State pitchers and the fielding has just been off for the Penguins here today.
And it hasn't just been 1 or 2 pitchers that are struggling. It has been consistent issues for the Penguins.
As this one in there or misses down low. That looked like it was in there for a strike, but home plate umpire Jason Snyder says it's just a bit low. Henderson has had his issues with wild pitches. Wild pitches now in 3 straight appearances, 4 in the past 3 outings.
Tyler, do you hear that?
So this one's popped up right on top of us, at the top of this press box. Heard the loud bang on that sheet metal. The count's 2-1.
Speaking of hearing that, did you hear the breaking news?
What?
There is officially a run rule for this game. That was the breaking news alarm. If you couldn't hear it, it's because it wasn't meant for you to hear.
As this one's going to run inside and hit TJ Tackett. Tackett's hit for the 2nd time today. Tackett and Garrett Wright both hit by 2 pitches here in today's game.
And
how about that?
TJ Tackett does not look happy every time he gets plunked.
Well, if you remember back, this might have been when you were in Vegas. He got hit by a game in the Miami homestand on that forearm that forced him to miss a game because of discomfort with it. So Tackett, I'm sure, is not the most happy with getting plunked by pitchers up there at the plate right now. Brings up Sam Seidel. Seidel, a single and a triple away from the cycle. He's 2 for 2 today with a home run, a double, a walk, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base. Fastball misses up high to begin his at-bat. Bowling Green in complete control of this game. That 7-inning run rule in effect means that if Bowling Green is up by 10 runs at the conclusion of the 7th inning or in the subsequent innings after that, the game will officially be over. Of course, we'd have to wait till the 7th inning to see that because Youngstown State is the home team. They'll get the second half of that inning, their at-bats, to try to fight it off if they are still down by 10 or more. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss by Seidel, but a chance for the Falcons to get out of here a little early. Start their ride back to Bowling Green a few hours earlier than expected.
And a chance for us as well, as it is freezing and also just coming off of a technically 7-hour flight, if you count the time difference.
That's
from
just
Las
your
Vegas.
problem, is from what I'm hearing. Is this one misses outside once again? This one missed outside the right-hander's batter's box. Completely missed that. 2 very wild pitches.
It has definitely been a tough draw, Tyler, for Youngstown State in every aspect of the word. Pitching, catching, and even fielding has been off for the Penguins. And we mentioned the 7th inning. They probably want this game to end even sooner with how the pitching and everything is going.
This one missed it inside. Full count on Sam Seidel. 2 wild pitches this inning by Mark Henderson. That's 5 wild pitches in his past 3 outings now. And Sam Seidel with a full count, 1 out in the top of the 4th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for him. Bowling Green up 12-0. Henderson's payoff pitch to Seidel. Check swing. Did that run up and hit Seidel? No signal at the plate. We have an appeal down to third base umpire Michael Gerber said he did not go around. Seidel looked like he got hit by that pitch.
Oh, 100%.
I did not see a signal by home plate umpire Jason Snyder. Seidel did not go around, hunched over in pain as he walks down to first base. He's going to shake it off here. As he'll get a free pass to first.
And it looked like that ball got him on the wrist on his right side, I believe.
As that's 6 hit by pitches by Youngstown State pitchers here today. Through 3 1/3 innings. That's almost unbelievable. That is an unbelievable number.
Definitely, Tyler. I think we can start to use the term a pitching meltdown.
Garrett Wright up to the plate with the bases loaded. Looks at a first pitch strike.
Maybe he doesn't want another hit by pitch, and at this rate, we call him a HBP magnet, but right now we might be.
Big swing and a miss by Wright. You do not see him swing out of his shoes on bad pitches in the dirt like that very often. As Wright goes chasing down the count 0-2, eyes getting a little too big with the bases loaded. Garrett Wright this season, 1 for 2 with the bases loaded. The 0-2 pitch to him. Big swing by Wright. Sends it out fairly deep center field. But settling under it is going to be Brown. He makes the catch. And advancing home will be Braden Curlis. Give the RBI to Wright. As TJ Tackett advances to third, Seidel holds up at first.
So now runners on the corners for Bowling Green as up comes another big play. We mentioned all the big plays out of Gavin Gannon. He is up again. He took a ball for a ride and was unable to get it to go over the wall on his last go-around. But now the Falcons just one more player away from batting around yet again.
Chance to do it 2 innings in a row. Scorekeeper's nightmare. Baseball player's dream. 4 runs in this inning after 7 runs in the third frame. 1-0 start to the count to Gavin Gannon. Big cut in a foul tip by Gannon at the plate. Wanted all of that. Gannon has been described by head coach Kyle Halleck as the strongest guy on the team. Has a ton of pop in his bat. It's a 1-1 count on him. As there's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Bowling Green leading 13-0 over Youngstown State. Gannon fouls this one off to the right side. Count goes to 1-2. Bowling Green has out-hit Youngstown State 8-2 here today. Youngstown State only with 1 error on the board. It's felt like a lot more than that. The 1-2 pitch to Gannon. This one misses wildly outside once again. Another wild pitch, the 3rd of this inning, to go along with 2 hit-by pitches by Mark Henderson. And advancing to second is Sam Seidel. 2 runners in scoring position for the Falcons with 2 outs.
And then you're right, Tyler. The nightmare inning is just going to continue for Youngstown State. They let up 7 in the 3rd. We've got 2 outs here in the 4th, and the Falcons, with Gannon at home plate, could make it another 7.
Off speed, just misses to the outside for a ball. Five wild pitches this game by Youngstown State pitchers to go along with 6 hit-by pitches. Almost another one there on ball 4 as Hadley had to get out of his stance to catch it. And the bases are going to be loaded after the 2-out walk. And Coop McKenzie will come up to the bat for the 2nd time this inning. Bowling Green has officially batted around for the 2nd inning in a row.
And we are going to get a conversation at the mound already with Mark Henderson. And we already took a break in this inning with a pitching change. I doubt we're going to see one now. Actually, yes, it looks like we will.
We will see a new pitching change as cult of personality blares over the speakers here at Eastwood Field. Mark Henderson will go into the Youngstown State dugout. We'll have a new Penguin coming on to pitch. When we come back, you're listening to BGSU Baseball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Back here at Eastwood Field, as cult of personality blares over the speakers, Lane Rhodes, the new pitcher, on for the Penguins. Their fifth pitcher of the game in just the fourth inning, Chaz. Lane Rhodes, the redshirt junior right-hander, 6'3", 205 from Salem, Ohio. Does not have a decision this year, a 15.43 ERA, 4 2/3 innings pitched. This will be a sixth appearance out of the bullpen. 5 strikeouts to 8 walks, 3 doubles allowed, a .350 batting average against, and a .321 whip.
You're right about that, Tyler. This is another pitcher that is just adding to it's going to be a very long score sheet on top of very long roster sheet with how many pitchers and how many stats.
Falcons have already made me chalk up my scoreboard to change the innings twice here today with batting around twice. And it's just a monsoon of runs for Bowling Green so far here today. 13-0 in the top of the fourth. There's 2 outs. The bases are loaded for Cooper McKenzie. His second at-bat of the inning. He led things off with a ground out to short to begin it all, as this one wildly outside for a ball. 5 wild pitches, 6 hit by pitches by Youngstown State pitchers here today. Incredible numbers in a bad way for the Penguins.
And you hit it a little bit with McKenzie. He did ground out to open this inning, but he also walked and lined out, so he has gotten his bat going just a little bit, unable to get to first base off of a hit, has yet to get a hit so far today. But now a great opportunity with the bases loaded.
That one also misses outside. Count 2-0. McKenzie 1 for 4 with the bases loaded this season. The 2-0 pitch to him. Misses outside. Count goes 3-0. We've already seen a run walked in here today. See if we get another one. Cleveland Guardians winning their home opener against the Chicago White Sox with a walk-in walk. Don't see that too often at any level. The 3-0 pitch to McKenzie. In there for a strike. Count goes 3-1.
And we mentioned, Tyler, that there is a whole lot going on for both of these teams. There's a lot of stakes on both sides. Youngstown State struggling a little bit. Bowling Green, they had a tough weekend against Miami.
McKenzie looks at ball 4, down and outside. Cooper McKenzie gets an RBI as Youngstown State walks in another run. Bowling Green up 14-0 in the top of the fourth.
And we said it, Tyler. The winner of this game, the team that was able to have the better performance, was probably going to get a whole lot of confidence going into their games. Well, now, if I'm Western Michigan, I better watch out because this Bowling Green team has, so far today, embarrassed Youngstown State's pitching staff.
Brings up Zach Corky. Base is still loaded and 2 outs. This one almost skids past Hadley as it misses to the outside.
So Tyler.
Zach Corky also 1 for 4 this season with the bases loaded. The 1-0 pitch to him. Swung on and fouled off to the right side.
If you had to make a guess at the start of the day, how many times before this game had started did you think the bases would be loaded for Bowling Green?
It'd be nowhere near the number that has happened here so far today. I can tell you that much. The count 1-1 on Horky now. Horky looks at a fastball right down Broadway. Down to the count 1-2. Lane Rhodes ahead for the first time here in his outing today. Rhodes delivers the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by Zach Horky. The inning finally over for Youngstown State, but not before Bowling Green adds on 5 more to their tally. They lead 14-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th right here on Eastwood Field on WBGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Back here at Eastwood Field, Bowling Green leading 14-0. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, Falcons have pounced on the Youngstown State Penguins early and often so far in this one, Chaz.
You're right about that, Tyler. 14-0 lead by the Orange and Brown is, I believe, by far the biggest start that they've had to a game so far this season. And against the Penguins, who they really gave them a run for their money at home during that 5 or 6 game home stretch that the Falcons had, where questions were being raised. Is Bowling Green a little bit too big for the shoes that we've asked them to fill? But now, you look at what they're doing against Youngstown. This is not a team that had a hot streak, I believe. They had a tough weekend, I'd say, against Miami, and now against Youngstown State, turning it around in a massive way.
Do have a couple of final pitching lines to go over for Youngstown State. As Kadarn still in the game, pitching to Jay Rona, Caleb Hadley, Eli Brown, the bottom 3 in the order for the Penguins. First pitch thrown in to Rona. So Tyler Heflin out of the bullpen goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 4 hits, 7 runs, 2 of which are earned. 3 walks and a strikeout, as this one lofted into no man's land in right center field. Shallow right center field for a leadoff single for Jay Rona. The Penguins with the leadoff runner for the second time in 4 innings here today. He throws 43 pitches, does Heflin. Gavin Williams goes 2/3 of an inning as well. 3 hits, 4 runs allowed, all which are earned. A walk across 21 pitches. And Mark Henderson, the lefty, goes 1/3 of an inning, gives up a run on 0 hits and a walk, 19 pitches thrown. So that is 6 walks, 6 hit by pitches, and 5 wild pitches by 5 Youngstown State pitchers.
Tyler, we're also going to get a change for Youngstown State, as no longer is Hadley in the game at catcher. It is going to be number 44, Goodwin. That's Nick Goodwin is in to bat for the Penguins. So a pinch hitter here, just 4 innings in.
Goodwin dribbles this up the middle, fielded by Antillion at short, flips it to Seidel at second for one. The throw in the dirt can't be picked out by Gavin Gannon. So it'll be a force out at second, 6-4 fielder's choice, and most likely a throwing error there on Sam Seidel at second.
So you can tell Youngstown State getting a little bit, starting to experiment a little bit with their lineup. You're down 14. The idea of a comeback is very, very large in front of you. But Goodwin, we mentioned it, he's from Washington.
And apologies there. He'll reach first on just a fielder's choice. No error on the play since it was a fielder's choice. And that'll bring up, as he said, Eli Brown.
Nothing too different after that, though. I believe that was the only change we have is going in for Hadley.
We'll see if they go deeper into the bench as this game goes on. The lights are now on here at Eastwood Field. Falcons hopefully will be playing under the lights a few times next season and in the seasons to come. Looking to get some major field renovations over there at Stellar Field in Bowling Green, Ohio. Fastball misses up high, count 1-2 on Brown.
That was a tough one by Arn, too. It looked like he got the top of the zone. That top zone for the home plate umpire, Jason Snyder, it felt a little short at times on both sides.
As this one also misses, count goes to 2-2.
Eli Brown was walked in his last at-bat at the bottom of the second inning. That feels like ages ago now.
It really does. This has been a long game because of the monsoon of scoring, as I called it, for Bowling Green, as 3 balls in a row has run the count full for Kadar in 3-2. I believe first pitch was at 5:02, so we're already 2 hours into this ballgame. Strike 3 looking by Kate Arn. Locked up Eli Brown. He thought it was ball 4. Home plate umpire Jason Snyder had other thoughts. And that's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the outing for Arn. His first looking and the 2nd out of the inning.
Now that does bring up one of the scariest batters that I think the Falcons will face so far this year. Just in terms of how dominant he is at every level. Kyle Fossum, he walked and struck out in his 2 at-bats, had a near home run.
Big swing and a chop down the third base side by Fossum. Excitement in the Bowling Green dugout, a player reaching up. It may have been a coach there.
That was a coach,
grabbing up and catching it. Couldn't see exactly which coach it was, but looks like it may be Joey Gamache maybe down there in the dugout. Either way, excitement for the Falcons. They were in a good mood right now, up 14-0. Fastball just misses up and outside for Arn. Count 1-1. These are always great games for teams like Bowling Green that are tense in conference play. These non-conference games, if you can get ahead early just to have fun with them and to get confidence back on your side. Fastball right down Broadway for Arn. Count goes to 1-2. Fossum have been kind of a non-factor today. But still a very, very dangerous batter at the plate for the Penguins. The most dangerous batter in all of the Horizon League. Fouls this one off weakly to the left side once again. Fossum has 7 home runs in his past 9 games played. 14 home runs overall this season. He has a hit in 14 of his past 15 games. And get this, Kyle Fossum has a hit in 26 of his 30 games played this season.
Absolutely unreal.
Flies this one over to right field. Going after it is Motice, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Kyle Fossum 0 for 2 on the day. Bowling Green leading 14-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. And it feels like ages ago since I asked you guys the question, but we will finally have the reveal of our trivia question when we come back in the top of the 5th right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
All right, so we have the reveal of our trivia question here in the top of the 5th. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil here for you with this one. Kevin Hutchison back in the WBGU 88.1 FM studios at the Cooling Center at BGSU. And Kaden Knapp also on hand making the trip with us to write the recap that you will see on BG Falcon Media shortly after the game's conclusion. So, guys, the trivia question I posed to you and the listeners was, which franchise has turned the most unassisted triple plays in MLB history? Your options were A, the Cleveland baseball franchise, B, the St. Louis Cardinals, C, the New York Yankees, or D, the Chicago Cubs. Starting with you, Chaz, do you have a final answer?
Yeah. Do you want my reasoning before I rip it?
It's short reasoning.
Okay.
Do you have a baseball game to play here?
Well, depending on how long this at-bat is, we might be here a while. But I will say, I think Cleveland, you're a Cleveland guy, I'm a Cleveland guy. I don't think it's that. I think the Yankees would be a good bet, but they are such face of the league that I wouldn't be shocked to hear it every 10 seconds. It's between Cardinals and Cubs. Cubs are the older of the franchises. Give me Cubs.
Give you Cubs. Kevin, do you have an answer back there in the studio? He's going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals. And Kaden Knapp, do you have one? Yankees, the Cubs fan going with the Yankees. You guys are all wrong. It's the Cleveland baseball franchise. They have turned 3 unassisted triple plays. Neil Ball, Bill Wamskins, I'm going to pronounce that one very wrong, and Asdrubal Cabrera in 2008. Asdrubal Cabrera has the second most recently turned unassisted triple play in MLB history in 2008. The most recent was Eric Bruntless in 2009 for the Philadelphia Phillies. So it's been quite a while since a MLB player has turned an unassisted triple play. But you guys will all have to try again later in the season for the trivia. Chaz back in the losing skid after you got one correct.
I'm not happy. That's for sure.
TJ Tackett's at the plate, goes down swinging for the first out of the inning of the top of the 5th. And that'll bring up Sam Seidel. Boy, is Sam Seidel having an incredible day. Seidel
That was Gunnar Antillian, I believe.
Oh, yeah, my apologies there. The bat confused me there. They both have those teal bats, as that was Gunnar Antillian. So he goes down on strikes. As very quickly, Carter Motice not able to repeat the success in his first 2 at-bats. Weak chopper to Cole Smith at second. And he retires him for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Braden Curlis. Try to keep this inning going. Youngstown State could use a 1-2-3 inning, if anything, here. That would be a game changer for them, because it's tough as a batter to sit there in on the bench, or if you're the designated hitter, or if you're in the field, just stand out there for so long and then come back and try to hit. It's draining out there in the field. Foul tipped at the plate by Braden Curlis in the 0-2 count. As it's still Lane Rhodes out there.
I'd say, Tyler, of all the pitchers we've seen so far from Youngstown, Rhodes has been doing a solid job. 3 straight. He's got 2 strikeouts and a ground out so far.
And we also have a multitude of defensive changes that we will get to as this one outside for a ball. So Ruffner is going to come into the game for Fossum in right field. Fossum will be out. Foster comes into the game at first base for Beckley. And McLean Bank comes into the game for Cutting at short as another Falcon is hit by a pitch, the 7th hit by pitch of the game, if my count is correct. As Braden Curlis will reach safely on the hit by pitch, and that will now bring up TJ Tackett's.
There you go. You weren't wrong. You were just early.
Just early. And another substitution. Hadley is out after he was pinch hit for, and it will be Nick Goodwin taking over behind the plate. Big swing and a miss by Tackett's. First pitch. So we'll see if we can keep track of all these defensive changes when they result in the order. But it appears Youngstown staying emptying the bench here pretty early. A couple star players out of the game for them. Fastball misses outside to TJ Tackett's. Tackett's on the day. Has walked, been hit by a pitch twice, has a stolen base, and he's grounded out to first. Still looking for his first hit of the game and his 5th plate appearance. Flies this one out. Shallow left field. Coming in and making the catch with his hat flying off is Shannon for the final out of the inning. The quickest inning worked here today by Youngstown State pitchers, and we head to the bottom of the 5th. Bowling Green leading the Penguins 14-0 right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Baseball will hit the road and travel across the state to play a non-conference game against Youngstown State on Wednesday, April 9th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil will have the call starting at 4:45 for pregame and 5 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers and the Youngstown State Penguins. Bowling Green leading the Penguins 14-0 as we hit the bottom of the 5th. Would once again like to thank Rob Sloan for giving us this time, Chaz and I, to Tyler Kavelitz with Chaz McNeil to broadcast this game here for you guys today. He usually hosts the radio show Spirits in the Material World from 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. So appreciate Rob Sloan for giving us this time, and would encourage you guys to check out that show every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Again, Spirits in the Material World by Rob Sloan on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Now it looks like we are going to see Arns remaining here.
As due up for Youngstown State. It'll be Tommy Rover, Cole Smith, Brady Shannon in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch nearly hits Tommy Rover.
As Rover dives to the ground there. And Tommy Rover, so far today, he is coming off of a strikeout. This one's going to be flied high and hard, and that ball is into the glove of TJ Tackett's, nearly making it over the fence there, but just a little bit short. So Rover will fly out, I want to say, probably 5 feet short of going over the fence there, but great job by TJ Tackett's.
As the new pitcher, had to do a little investigative work there. Our stats weren't uploading, didn't hear anything over the loudspeakers. It's C.J. Boudreau into the game for Bowling Green. Didn't see the hair from Kate Arnn, and the blue glove looked a little different. That is the blue glove, the teal glove of C.J. Boudreau. So the day is done for Kate Arnn, and the freshman Boudreau gets another appearance here for Bowling Green. Boudreau, freshman right-hander, 6'1", 189 from Oregon, Ohio. He was the TRAC Pitcher of the Year in 2022 in high school. Does not have a decision this year, 8.53 ERA, 6 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 7th appearance. He pitched, actually his last outing, as this one drilled down the first base line for a single by Cole Smith. Smith going around first, a bad hop off the wall for him, as it's fielded by Mo Tice cleanly in right field, and he holds him to a hard-hit single with 1 out for Cole Smith. But as I was saying, interestingly, Boudreau's last appearance this season came on March 25th against Youngstown State. He won an inning in that outing, giving up a hit and striking out a batter. Also hit a batter across 17 pitches.
Maybe he's the secret weapon against Youngstown State. You never know. As shortly after he came in relief, the Falcons did put everything together to win the game in that 8-inning 7th. And up next is Brady Shannon, the quarterback, which is such an interesting story to me, Tyler.
It definitely is. First pitch to him, down and inside, but called a strike. Nice placement by C.J. Boudreau. The right-hander's next pitch, the freshman just misses outside. Count goes to 1-1. Final line for Kate Arnn. He goes 2 solid innings, 36 pitches for Kate Arnn. Compared to Logan Bell's 53 it took him to get through to. Arnn does give up 3 hits, does not allow a run, as this one skids past Group McKenzie behind the plate. And it's going to be Smith advancing to second. No walks and 3 strikeouts for Kate Arnn. So a nice bounce-back outing for the right-hander. Great to see for Kate Arnn.
And it was feast or famine between Logan Bell and Kate Arnn. Bell did not allow a single hit, but he did have 5 walks. Arnn had 3 hits.
This one grounded to the left side, fielded by Curlis at third. Jump throw across the diamond. Nice play by Braden Curlis at third base for the second out of the inning.
That will bring up Foster. Wow, what a great walk-up song from the movie Lilo and Stitch. Hawaiian roller coaster ride.
Braden Foster up to bat. Big fan of that song, Chaz.
I mean, top Disney movie.
What's your excitement now for the live-action Lilo and Stitch?
I think it looks very good, genuinely. I think the animation of it looks very solid. They're changing up a couple things, but I haven't looked too closely into it yet.
Braden Foster chops this one foul to the right side. Down the count 0-2. Redshirt junior infielder, 6'5", 230. From Mullica Hill, New Jersey. Previously played his past 2 seasons at Mount St. Mary's after he redshirted his freshman season at Tennessee Tech. Does not have a hit this season. Interestingly, Youngstown State has lost every game that he has appeared in. He's been a guy that they bring off the bench in these blowout scenarios just to get some at-bats. Last appeared on March 9th against Garner Webb. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in that outing. His first appearance in exactly a month here for the Penguins. The 1-2 pitch to Braden Foster from C.J. Boudreau. Check swing. Did he go? He did. Boudreau gets the strikeout to end the inning. Bowling Green still leading 14-0 as we head to the top of the 6th right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU senior pitcher Connor Penrod earned saves in all 3 games in Mount Pleasant, Michigan against the Chippewas, earning him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week award. Penrod carries a 1.19 earned run average through a weekend on the road where he threw 3 1/3 scoreless innings, striking out 2 of 9 in a week. That also earned him his first weekly conference award and the squad's second of the year. The Wauseon, Ohio native is tied for 8th in the country with 8 saves this season, which is also tied for the most in a single season in program history. Penrod has allowed just 2 earned runs in 15 1/3 innings this year. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Nate Ross is the new pitcher for Youngstown State, junior right-hander, 6'8", 185, from Las Vegas, Nevada. Went to Providence Catholic High School, played last season at Wabanese Community College. Does not have a decision this year, 36 ERA. 3 innings pitched across 4 appearances. This is 5th all out of the bullpen. 3 strikeouts to 4 walks, and opponent .556 batting average. He replaces Lane Rhodes. He's the 6th pitcher into the game for Youngstown State. Rhodes finishes his day 1 1/3 innings pitched, 21 pitches to do it, gives up a walk and strikes out 2.
It was a very good stretch for Rhodes. I'm a little surprised that they ended up pulling him. You compare him to Henderson, who only just had 1/3 of an inning, and he allowed a run that was earned and a walk with 4 batters faced. So a little surprising, but pitching not a strong suit for the Penguins, as we have Sam Seidel up to bat.
Seidel's been phenomenal here today. Skies this one up in the infield. Chasing after it in foul territory is Goodwin. The catcher makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Nate Ross.
Great start for Ross. As Tyler, I don't know about you, it is starting to get even colder out there. I can't even imagine being a player.
Down to 44 degrees. We're give or take about half an hour, 40 minutes away from sunset here in Niles, Ohio.
Maybe it's the Las Vegas getting to me, that sunny
we do have some rain coming in tomorrow, so a little bit of a cold front moving in. Don't want to get too meteorologist on the baseball broadcast, but a little cold air coming in with the rain. First pitch strike thrown in there to Garrett Wright. Actually, that is not Garrett Wright. And that was not, we missed the substitution. That was not Sam Seidel.
It was Carter Gast right now.
That was Garrett Sloan up to bat for Sam Seidel. Gast getting his first at-bat for the Falcons this season as well. Tri-C transfer, Carter Gast.
A lot of firsts here today.
There are a lot of firsts here today for Bowling Green. Gast behind the count 1-2.
But if you were worried about any more changes, don't be worried. Gavin Gannon is still right behind
We do see
Gast.
that ninja headband. Carter Gast, an Olmsted Falls native. First career at-bat for Bowling Green. Played the past 2 seasons at Cuyahoga Community College in Cleveland, Ohio. Big swing.
That was Caden Parker.
Flies this one up. As you led me astray there, Chaz. That was Caden Parker. Was not Carter Gast. Caden Parker. So that means that Sam Seidel and Garrett Wright's days are done. As Caden Parker pops up to the infield. Back-to-back pop-ups induced by Nate Ross. Youngstown State's probably asking, where was this pitching the first few innings? It's been solid the past couple of innings.
Almost.
As we still have you're not the only one confused. We still have the live stats telling us that was Garrett Wright popping up. So,
well, if I was going to,
we're not the only one confused here.
I'm glad I'm confused in a crowd.
So Sam Seidel ends his day with a double and a home run and 3 RBIs. Garrett Wright ends it with 2 RBIs to his name. Does not have a hit. He reaches base 3 times though, on 2 hit-by pitches in an error.
Huge swing and a miss there by Gavin Gannon.
And it is Gavin Gannon. You can trust us on that one. Gannon just a little behind this one. Flies it foul down the right field line. A lot of substitutions from both sides here in this game. A 14-0 blowout by Bowling Green. Both sides emptying their benches here in the non-conference matchup. Was interesting to see Caden Parker not get the start for Bowling Green. He's been a consistent piece in this Falcons lineup the past 2 seasons. Instead, Carter Motice getting that start in right field, and he's delivered in that start.
I was going to say, though, Tyler, if you are going to move somebody out, it would have been Parker out of the outfield. You've got Wright and Tackett, who have been phenomenal. Wright, obviously.
Well, I think that's where the biggest logjam roster-wise is, too.
Yeah.
You have a few of those outfielders that are fighting for positional battles. You've been trying to put your catchers out there, too. It's a very mix-and-match puzzle out there, except for T.J. Tackett's in center field. He's been the one constant in the outfield for the Falcons, as this one, speaking of center field, flown out to center field by Gavin Gannon, where he is retired by Brown for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Bowling Green still up 14-0 over Youngstown State here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com. Back here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, Tyler Gavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. Going to be back on a call with you, Chaz, and it's resulted in some success if you believe in that kind of stuff. 14-0 Bowling Green leading Youngstown State as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
We are 2 for 2 so far, I will say, Tyler. We had a great record last season. You and I have been splitting play-by-play roles going back and forth. So very rare.
It's been good to get some new voices on the radio, too.
It's good that, I mean, it being genuine here, it's good that we have a mixture. You and I both get our grubby little fingerprints over every single series, but it's not necessarily together. And that allows for different dynamics that I think work out very well.
We're all here to learn at Bowling Green State University and the Falcon Media Sports Network. As we reach the bottom of the sixth, it'll be Brandon McLean-Banks making his first at-bat today. This one spiked in the ground by C.J. Boudreau. May have caught the right hand of Cooper McKenzie behind the plate. He shakes it off. McLean-Banks replaced Garrett Cutting in the field at shortstop. Cutting finishes his day 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. As this one also misses for a ball. McLean-Banks on the season is batting just .133. Redshirt freshman infielder, 5'10", 175 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of our board operator, Kevin Hutchinson.
But somehow he's a Browns fan. Don't know how that works out.
Enemy lines over there. 2-0 pitch, or 3-0 pitch, apologies. Down low and outside, a 4-pitch walk issued by C.J. Boudreau to begin the bottom of the sixth to Garrett Cutting. Or to McLean-Banks, I should say. A little tripped up there, multiple names in the same box on the score sheet.
And we're going to have another one as it's Jed Stang Tregear.
Jed Strang Tregear.
So that's going to be, he's going to come in for Rona.
Just when you thought they had emptied out the bench, there's more where that comes from. As the first pitch to him, a ball. Tregear ahead in the count, 1-0.
Tregear,
a freshman infielder, 5'11", 190 from Seattle, Washington. He's used to these colder temperatures. Count 1-1 on him after the fastball thrown in by C.J. Boudreau. Batting just 100 on the season. Last played on March 14th against Milwaukee. Hit in just one game this season, March 1st against UTSA. Another fastball. Thrown in a good spot, but just slow by C.J. Boudreau for a ball. Count goes to 2-1. He was ranked the number 4 shortstop and 36th overall player in the state of Washington by perfect game out of high school. Tregear, hard line drive into left field for a single, and misfielded a little bit out there by, that's no longer right. That'll be a defensive replacement out there in left field. Either way, it's going to be first and second for the Penguins, with nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth.
So next up, we do have Goodwin, who was the only pinch hitter to come in that we saw last inning. Coming in for Hadley. Now some juice is brewing on this Youngstown State offense. They are getting the bats going a little bit more.
Coincides with their pitching, stepping up a little bit here in this one. Nick Goodwin fouled off the first pitch, awaits the second one, swinging, grounds it through the infield to the left side, and it's going to be bases loaded after 2 singles for the Penguins with nobody out in the bottom of the sixth.
A little interesting of a decision there by Garrett Sloan.
Yeah.
Didn't opt to field that ball that was dribbling down the third base line. He instead let it go behind him, loading the bases for another hit. This one from Goodwin. Eli Brown, one of the only Penguins actually remaining in the game that started.
They have definitely tried to sub out a lot of these starters. Alex Laird into the game as well. I'm working on all this defensive positioning. There's a lot of moving around.
As that first pitch is going to be fouled off behind Brown.
Okay, so here's what the defensive positioning still looks like for Bowling Green. McKenzie's still behind the plate. Ganun's still at first. That is unchanged. It is Braden Curlis moving from third to second. Alex Laird into the game at short. Garrett Sloan in at third. Motice moves over to left field from right. Tackett's still in center. And it's Caden Parker into the game in right field. So quite a few defensive changes on either side.
I knew it would be bad.
This one flown up into left field. Caught by Motice, tagging up and retreating back to the bag is Cutting. Nice throw in by Motice, gets the Bowling Green bench going.
Who is this kid? this Motice guy, not only is he a true freshman, he's got 2 hits so far today, 3 RBIs. That ball is popped up high. You've got a runner at third threatening to make his way down and home and stop this shutout that's got going on, and a effortless throw by Motice to shut him down. It's unreal.
Fastball down low by Boudreau to begin the at-bat to Ruffner. Ruffner's first at-bat of the game after he came in for Kyle Fossum. Teddy Ruffner, redshirt junior outfielder, 5'10", 210, from Mars, Pennsylvania.
What a place to live. Mars.
Was waiting for the out of this planet pun by Chaz. Didn't get it.
No, I see. Here's
Puns
the
have
thing.
slowed down since the start of the game for you.
I'm gonna be honest, Tyler. A jet lag's getting to me. I mean, every time I blink, I have a little dream go through my brain.
It's a 1-2 count on Ruffner at the plate. Fastball just misses down low for Boudreau. Did not miss by much from our vantage up here in the press box. And the count goes even to 2-2.
This is the first true jam we've seen the Falcons in since that first inning when Logan Bell had all those walks in a row. But now
this one down low for a ball. Count goes full with 1 out and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. Youngstown State looking for their first run of the game.
That's what I was just about to say. Now it's a 1 pitch away from breaking the shutout.
The payoff pitch by Boudreau. This one chopped to the left side. Fielded foul by Garrett Sloan. He waited by the bag to pick that up to see if it would go foul. It does. So, Teddy Ruffner will have to face another pitch. Waiting on deck is still Tommy Rover. As some new balls being brought in to home plate umpire Jason Snyder. We're back, ready to get underway. Boudreau comes set, delivers full count, 2 outs, bases loaded to Ruffner. Drilled deep left field over the head of Motice. 1 run scores. Here comes the second. It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Teddy Ruffner. He puts Youngstown State on the board. Bowling Green's lead down to 14-2.
Now we start to creep into the run rule territory of feeling uncomfortable. I don't know about you, Tyler.
That's the goal for Youngstown State, is to get more innings played in this game. It's mound visit by Kyle Halleck. See if we get a pitching change. Wouldn't imagine we get one here. It was McLean Banks scoring from third, and Strange Traeger scoring from second. Nick Goodwin goes from first to third. Boudreau will stay in the game as Halleck heads back to the dugout, and the rest of the infield goes back to the respective positions.
So just a little checkup for Boudreau as he faces off against Tommy Rover. Rover, like we said before, one of the only ones to actually stay in the game. He's got a walk, a strikeout, and to fly out in his 4 at-bats.
Switch hitter. He hits from the left side here today against all right-handed pitching from Bowling Green. Boudreau's first fastball in there for a strike. Nice zip on the first pitch by Boudreau. A true freshman out there on the mound for Bowling Green. Still runners on first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th for Youngstown State. 14-2, that may not sound important, but like we mentioned, it is a run rule in effect today, 10 after 7. So if Youngstown State's able to score 3 more here before the end of the 7th, this game will continue on. If not, it'll be over after 7 innings. In the dirt by Boudreau. Nice stop by McKenzie behind the plate. Count moves to 2-1. Penguins making Boudreau work here in this inning. Getting good experience on the mound. Swinging and driving it on the ground through the infield is Rover. A 1-out single will load the bases once again for the Penguins with just 1 out in the inning.
Grand slam opportunity here for Shannon.
It'll actually be Cole Smith. And Kyle Halleck's going to make a pitching change. We'll have a new pitcher in for Bowling Green. When we come back, Falcons lead the Penguins 14-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Youngstown State with the bases loaded and 1 out. Cole Smith batting here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. New pitcher on the mound for Bowling Green is the first lefty on the bump today for the Falcons. It is Luke Kraus. Kraus replaces C.J. Boudreau, fourth pitcher of the day after Logan Bell and Kate Arn as well. Kraus, a junior lefty, 6'2", and 199 from Antwerp, Ohio. Kraus 2-0 this year with a 5.68 ERA, 12 2/3 innings pitched. This will be his 10th appearance of the season, all out of the bullpen. 11 strikeouts to 4 walks, a 3.85 opponent batting average.
Well, he's got a pretty big jam to get himself out of here, Tyler. Bases loaded, only 1 out, and Cole Smith up to bat, coming off of a hit single in his last at-bat.
First pitch to Smith, down low for a ball. Prime opportunity for Youngstown State to put some runs on the board. Off speed, beautifully placed by the lefty. in their 4-strike. 1-1 the count. Kraus could use a ground ball here to one of those Falcons defenders up the middle. See if they can turn 2. Off speed. Nice dot on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-2. The off speed working for Kraus in this at-bat. The left-hander comes set, delivers the payoff pitch. Off speed, trying to go to the outside corner once again. Just a bit too far outside. And the count goes even to 2-2.
And Smith has yet to even take an attempt at any of these balls, keeping his bat on his shoulder.
Next pitch by Kraus in the dirt. Nice glove stop by Cooper McKenzie. Full count, 1 out, bases loaded for Youngstown State. Bottom of the 6th. Bowling Green leads 14-2. Kraus comes set. The left-hander is payoff pitch. Fastball just a bit low for ball 4. Luke Kraus walks in a run. Nick Goodwin scores from third. You can give the RBI on the walk to Cole Smith.
Now it's getting to sweat time, Tyler. If you're Bowling Green, you want to get out of here. This has been a long game so far, already 2 hours and 45 minutes in, and we're still in the 6th inning.
This is the kind of game that Rob Manfred absolutely hates time-wise. Brady Shannon up to bat. Another one of those starters, Chaz, as you've been mentioning, that's still in the game for Youngstown State. First pitch strike thrown in by Luke Kraus.
Kraus did a good job of that last at-bat against Smith.
This one lined over the head of Laird at short into left field. 1 run comes around to score before a nice throw in by Mo Tice. It's an RBI single by Brady Shannon. And with Foster coming up to bat, every Penguin has hit so far this inning.
Just 1 shy of batting around fully. Foster, in his 1 at-bat, he struck out coming in for Beckley. Bases still loaded.
This one chopped foul to the left side by Braden Foster. As he mentioned, Foster struck out swinging his first time up. That was the final out of the bottom of the 5th. Looking to avoid striking out again as he flies this one out to left field. Coming in and sliding and making the catch is Mo Tice. Gets up and throws it in. Thrown out in time, but nonetheless, a tremendous defensive play by Mo Tice, the true freshman in left field. Scoring on the play is Tommy Rover, who tagged up from third. It's now a 14-5 ball game, which is all important for that 10-inning run rule that starts in effect after the 7th inning.
Great play from Mo Tice. Not much you can do there if you are Bowling Green besides play what you're able to do. And now, out of run rule territory, Falcons will need to score and keep the Penguins from scoring in the 7th. But first, you got to get this out here.
This one chopped over to the right side by McLean Banks. Fielded at first by Ganon. The throw over to a covering Luke Kraus. Not in time. McLean Banks beat out the throw, running down to first.
And a little bit of a baffling play there by Bowling Green. To be honest with you, you had a clump. You had Curlis, Ganon, and Laird all lumped over with Kraus also going up, and it was just a little confusing, a bit of a clump. Nobody actually on first base.
Brings up Jed Traeger. Traeger looks at a first pitch ball down and inside.
Now the Penguins have fully batted around.
5 runs this inning for Youngstown State. They still have the bases loaded now with 2 outs. Strange Traeger looks at a ball in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1 on him. Strange Traeger singled his first time up last inning or earlier this inning, and his first at bat. Looks at an all-speed pitch, settle in the zone for a strike, and the count goes even on him to 2-2. Luke Krause looking to get out of the inning, get the Bowling Green bats up to the plate. The next pitch by Krause swung on and missed. Luke Krause gets the strikeout to end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 14-5 right here at Eastwood Field on WPGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Back here at Eastwood Field, it'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for Bowling Green. It's set to be Coop McKenzie, Zach Horky, Gunnar Antillion. We'll see if we get any substitutions. I wouldn't imagine that we do. As Bowling Green up by 9, 15-4 here in the top of the 7th. They need at least one more run to be in contention to run roll the Penguins this inning. It's a new pitcher for Youngstown State once again, the 7th pitcher of the game for them. It'll be Pizzone into the game.
And Pizzone, number 24, he is, for Youngstown State, he is only got 2 innings pitched in this entire time, this entire season so far for Pizzone. Couple other interesting things about him. He plays both pitching and outfield. He's a redshirt freshman righty, 6'3", 220 pounds from Struthers, Ohio. Went to Struthers High School.
First pitch by Pizzone. Misses the outside for a ball on Coop McKenzie. McKenzie 0 for 2 in the day with 2 ground outs to the shortstop. He's also walked twice. Looks at another ball outside. Count moves to 2-0. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network on hand for this game. As Coop McKenzie drives this one deep left field, going back over the wall. Cooper McKenzie, a solo shot here in the top of the 7th for Bowling Green. They extend their lead back to double digits, 15-4, or 15-5, I should say, on the moonshot by McKenzie.
Hero of the day right there. Bowling Green in the cold get a massive play out of Cooper McKenzie. Jackets are now out for most of the players on the benches for both sides as it is getting even colder. Cooper McKenzie, so far this season, that is his 3rd home run. And now he is tied. He actually will be one behind Sam Seidel, who got one today, but still, he's keeping that race close between the two.
15 RBIs on the season now for Coop McKenzie as well. Brings up Zach Corky. Another one of those trio of catchers for the Falcons. First pitch to Horky, first pitch swinging, fouls it to the back for a strike. What a moonshot by Coop McKenzie. to put Bowling Green back up by 10. Over that high left field wall. Here at Eastwood Field.
Now we will see if the Falcons
Oh,
can
and
keep
Pizzone
scoring.
runs inside and hits Zach Corky. I think that's the 7th hit by pitch, if my numbers are correct, on a Falcon today. That's got to be the most against Bowling Green in quite a long time. I mean, it's interesting. You look at the scoreboard. Bowling Green's up by 10, 15-5. They're getting out-hit by Youngstown State right now, 10-9. If that tells you how bad Youngstown State pitching has been today, I don't know what else will. Gunnar Antillion steps into the box. Actually, that is going to be Alex Laird. Laird, defensive substitution for Gunnar Antillion. Laird looks at a fastball up high after looking at a strike. Count 1-1 on him.
And it's really interesting, Tyler. Not only do we have, or I guess we had 3 catchers in the game. Now we have 3 third basemen.
Yeah.
Sloan, Laird, and Curtis have all been the third baseman additions that we've tried to see where they're going to slot in. And now the final 3 all make their appearances here.
Alex Laird last played on March 23rd against Kent State. His first at-bat here since March 19th against Dayton. He's hit in 4 of his 7 games with an at-bat this season, as he's up in the count 3-1. Laird just 1 walk to 10 strikeouts this year, a .217 hitter coming into the game. He played in just 4 games last year before an injury ended his season, and he has not really been able to fight for much playing time so far this year, but kind of lost in the shuffle after getting some appearances early in the season. 3-1 pitch to him, foul to the back.
They tried a little hit and run there, I believe, Tyler, with that'll be Horky.
Yeah. Carter Motice still awaits on deck. Breakout game for the true freshman. This one driven right field by Laird, but straight towards the right fielder, Ruffner. Laird's retired for the first out of the inning.
Next up is Motice, who he flied out and ground out, but in between he had back-to-back RBI doubles.
What a debut it's been for Carter Motice. As you mentioned, 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in for the freshman in his collegiate debut.
I don't think anybody could have predicted that.
Looks at a first pitch ball, chance to add more to it in this at-bat. He's been tremendous here today. And it's hard to pitch to him. You don't have any tape. You have really no scouting on him. At least at the collegiate level, there's no data to go off of. This pitch runs inside to Motice, running away from the box, trying to get Goodwin a chance to chase after it. Standing put at first is Zach Corky. Little stoppage here before Pizzone gets back onto the mound. The 2-0 pitch to Motice, swinging, fouls it off to the left side. Fairly deep to the left side.
I'd say
we saw the speed in the numbers in high school. Motice seems to have a little pop in that bat as well.
I think all of us who have not really scouted super deep into Motice are a bit surprised. I think the only people that aren't are Motice himself, Kyle Halleck, and his mom. I'd say would be the 3 people.
Foul to the back by Motice. Count moves to 2-2. We'll see what Halleck says about Motice post-game. Seems like one of those guys that he's been hiding this season. waiting for him to develop a little more before giving him an appearance. He seems well enough ready from what he's done so far today, as Braden Curlis awaits on deck. The 2-2 pitch to Motice misses outside for a ball. Quality at bat here from Motice. Working the count against Olindo Pazone. Full count with 1 out, top of the 7th. Bowling Green leading Youngstown State 15-5. Runner on first, now runner on first and second as Motice reaches base for the 3rd time today. First in the form of a walk. That'll bring up Braden Curlis.
And now, barring a double play, we're near promise to see TJ Tackett's, who we know has some pop in that arm. The strength of the lineup is a little bit weaker as Seidel and Wright got subbed out for Sloan and Parker, but still a hard-hitting core if you get to the top of the lineup.
TJ Tackett still waiting on deck. As I think we may have had a balk called there.
I think so.
Runners both get a base, so it's going to be a balk called on Pazone. So Horky will go from second to third. Motice from first to second. As this one driven left field, it's going to settle in front of Shannon, and both runners going to come around to score a 2 RBI double by Braden Curlis.
Big play there by Braden Curlis. Yet another. It is freshman frenzy here in Youngstown State. I forget the name of the town, Tyler. I'm going to be so honest with you.
Niles isn't going to welcome you back, Chad.
There we go.
You might not be welcome back to Niles after this.
I almost said Vines. I knew it was something like that.
Vines?
Niles and Naples and Vines. I don't know.
Where'd you grab Naples from?
Niles, Naples, they're close. Not
Brings
literally.
up TJ Tackett.
Not
runner on second for him.
Not geographically, but they're
went
close
down
in there.
low for a ball. You saw the Niles sign when we came into town.
I was more worried about getting to the game. The signs didn't really.
So here's a fun stat from our BGSU Sports Information Director. Falcons are at 8 hit by pitches today, Chaz. The NCAA record for hit by pitches in a game is 10.
Wow.
Bowling Green approaching an NCAA record. They still have time. I don't know that they're going to want to run into too many more hit by pitches. But what an insane number so far today. Foul tipped at the plate by TJ Tackett. Tackett himself has been hit twice today. As has Garrett Wright, who is now out of the game. You look down the list. Sam Seidel, who's out of the game, was hit by a pitch. Zach Corky's been hit by a pitch. Gunnar Antillion was hit by a pitch. Braden Curlis was hit by a pitch. It just goes on and on and on. Luckily, nobody to our knowledge has been banged up or injured from these, which is a great sign to see because you always worry about getting hit on the hands or the elbow and something happening there. None of them have been in crazy spots, which is a very good thing to see for Bowling Green. They've just gotten free bases, which is the best thing you can get out of them.
We did see Seidel was holding his arm a little bit.
He seemed okay after that, though, so you'd have to hope nothing happened there. Count 3-1. Big swing and a miss from TJ Tackett. Found it into the back of the glove of Goodwin, in fact. Wanted all of it. As the count runs full with 1 out, top of the 7th, Bowling Green leads 17-5 over Youngstown State. Runner on second in the form of Braden Curlis. Pazone comes set. The delivery to TJ Tackett's down low inside for ball 4. Another walk by Penguins pitchers here today. And the on-base percentage by TJ Tackett's going to continue to skyrocket. 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches for Tackett's today. He reaches base for the 4th time in 6 plate appearances.
Now we will have a conversation between Goodwin and his pitcher at the mound. Players only right now, but there is an arm warming up in the Penguin bullpen.
I got to say, though, this is a very cool stadium to be able to play collegiate baseball at, especially in the Horizon League, a league that's not known for baseball. It's got to be tough to fill this place out. Not the best crowd on hand today, weather, not really encouraging that. It is about 15, 20 minutes off of the campus, I believe, of Youngstown State, so it is a little bit of a trek, but a very great facility to play collegiate baseball at.
I think you're right about that, Tyler. As we have officially eclipsed the 3-hour mark of this game, and it's only the 7th inning.
Garrett Sloan into bat once again for Sam Seidel. Looks at 2 balls to begin his plate appearance, ahead in the count 2-0. Three hours to complete 7 innings. Good thing we are not at Stellar Field, because this game would have to be finished at another time.
That is very true, Tyler.
Sunset is complete. Here in, which city are we in, Chaz?
I believe it is Niles. I don't think they're going to welcome you back.
You got it there.
I don't think they'll welcome you back, Tyler, to be honest.
2-1 count on Sloan. Pops this one foul behind the plate. And the count goes even to 2-2.
Still one out here in Niles, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers.
Former affiliate of the Cleveland, then Indians, now Guardians. This one flown out fairly deep center field, still backpedaling as Brown before Eli Brown corrals that for the second out of the inning. Advancing to third from second is Braden Curlis. TJ Tackett stays put at first. And that'll bring up Caden Parker. Parker pinch hit for Garrett Wright back in the 6th.
This could be the last time we see Parker today.
So actually the record for hit by pitches is 11. That was Farley Dickinson, was hit 11 times against Iona on March 22nd, 2022. Indiana State, William and Mary twice, and LSU are all tied at 10 apiece, ranging in from 2022 to 2023 dates. Something about William and Mary. Attracting a lot of hit by pitches over there.
Absolutely unreal. 11 hit by pitches. Maybe the opposing pitching coach should be thrown out of the game in those situations. Not as bad here for Youngstown, only 8.
That would be an interesting twist. You get so many hit by pitches, you lose the pitching coach. Is that where baseball goes next with the rule changes?
Honestly, I think if you get
instead of losing
out,
a designated hitter, you lose your pitching coach.
If you get blown out by 20, I think you should lose your head coach.
Wow. Big swing and a miss by Caden Parker. Actually a foul tip into the back of Goodwin's glove. Count goes even to 2-2. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Bowling Green leads Youngstown State 17-5 here at Eastwood Field. Runners on the corners in the form of Braden Curlis at third and TJ Tackett's at first. The 2-2 pitch is inside to Caden Parker. We'll do it at a full count.
Now, Tyler, this does bring up a good question. What rule would you add to baseball?
What rule would I add to baseball? I'm a traditionalist. I love baseball the way it is. I would actually take away a rule. I would probably take away the as this one misses outside for ball 4. Bases loaded once again for Bowling Green. I would probably take away that you have to face 3 batters rule. I don't love that one. That or maybe the pickoff attempts rule. I wasn't a huge fan of those. But in terms of adding rules, I don't know. Nothing really comes to my mind for me. Caden Knapp wants to get rid of the pitch clock. I was against the pitch clock when it started. I think it's helped out the game, to be honest. And we're going to have another pitching change here for Youngstown State. We're going to have an 8th pitcher coming into the game, so We'll take a break, come back with that. Bowling Green as the bases loaded, 17-5 their lead. Here in the top of the 7th, 2 outs. Gavagadon coming to the plate when we come back on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon softball play the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame on Wednesday, April 9th at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have a recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bowling Green will face another pitcher here today. It'll be the 8th pitcher they faced for Youngstown State. It'll be Nolan Kabilis. Kabilis, a senior right-hander, 6'2", 195, from Wadsworth, Ohio. A couple hours away from here. His second season at Youngstown State after he played 2 years at San Diego City College. 5.40 ERA, 1 2/3 innings pitched. Just his 4th appearance out of the bullpen here this season. Gavagadon's up to bat, bases loaded for him. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Bowling Green leads Youngstown State 17-5. Caden Parker on first. TJ Tackett's on second. Braden Curlis on third. 2 balls thrown to Ganon to begin his at-bat. If Ganon is able to reach here, Bowling Green will officially have batted around for the 3rd time today. Ganon, big cut and a miss at the plate. This has been just what Bowling Green needed on offense in this game, Jazz.
Yeah, you're right about that one, Tyler. They're able to just mash these pitchers, and great confidence coming out of this team despite having a tough weekend against Miami of Ohio. And even though the hitting hasn't been as frequent as you might think, they still have gotten into the heads of this pitching staff.
As Ganon flies this into center field. Actually, shallow infield, didn't make it out to center field. Caught by Smith, and that'll end the inning, finally, for Youngstown State. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, Youngstown State needs at least 3 runs to keep this game going past the 7th inning on WBGU 88.1 FM. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Back here at Eastwood Field, home of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers and the Youngstown State Penguins. And as we hit the bottom of the seventh here, we do have some new Bowling Green program history. So we can officially say that the 8 hit-by pitches on Bowling Green batters today is believed to at least tie the school record. The available, there's nothing in the Bowling Green records that we can look at, but the available NCAA records showed from 9 hit-by pitches and up. Bowling Green was not in that, so we can say that this is at least believed to tie or possibly set, but at least tie the BGSU program record for hit-by pitches in a game. Pretty incredible for the Falcons.
Very big for Bowling Green. This has been a anomaly of a game, just a bunch of weird wackiness happening, and that's why you love baseball.
Kraus still on the mound, pitching to Nick Goodwin to begin this inning. Flown out shallow center field. That's going to drop in front of TJ Tackett to begin the bottom of the seventh. Youngstown State gets a much-needed leadoff base runner. They're down 17-5. They need at least 3 runs this inning, Chaz, to continue the game past the seventh, as the 10-run run rule is in effect. That goes into effect any time in the 7th inning or beyond.
Now Eli Brown trying to make it back-to-back hits here.
He's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Not the best of days for Eli Brown at the bottom of this Youngstown State order. Looks at a first pitch strike from Luke Kraus. Kraus misses with the off-speed to the outside. His breaking ball has been pretty effective here today. He's placed it very nicely in his outing.
If you're Bowling Green, this would be an absolutely massive out to get, as most of the lineup is gone.
This one fouled in the back.
And what I mean by that is most of that starting lineup, like you've got Fossum, he's no longer in there. If you can get Brown down, who is one of the ones that has hung in there, you get Ruffner, who's a new batter, and Rover.
Pitch misses up and outside. Count goes to 2-2. That's a good point there. The 2-2 pitch from Luke Kraus off speed, just off the outside corner. McKenzie tried to frame it, couldn't get the call from home plate umpire Jason Schneider. And the count goes full to 3-2 with nobody out and a runner on first here in the bottom of the seventh. Kraus's payoff pitch skied up in the infield. Coming over from third and making the catch in front of the pitcher's mound is Garrett Sloan for the first out of the inning. Bowling Green 2 outs away from another victory.
And keeping Bowling Green away from that, or at least trying to, will be Teddy Ruffner, number 32. He came in as a pinch batter.
Singled in his first at-bat in the game today. Looks at a fastball up high for ball 1.
Falcons are up 12.
Off speed, beautifully into the strike zone by Kraus. Count moves to 1-1. Luke Kraus has served as a little bit of a long relief guy for Bowling Green at times during his career at BG. One of those ultra-important left-handed arms out of the bullpen. Those could be equalizers in games. Count 1-2 after the foul ball at the plate. The next pitch, a swing and a miss at the plate by Teddy Ruffner. Make it the second strikeout of the outing for Luke Kraus, and Bowling Green is 1 out away from another orange and brown winner.
Big opportunity here for Bowling Green. Can just get one more out And Tommy Rover, he's walked, he's struck out, he's flied out, and he's got a hit single for an RBI.
First pitch to him, off speed in there for a strike. Luke Krause looking to lock things down for Bowling Green here in the bottom of the 7th. Check swing at the plate. Did he go? He did on the appeal to first base umpire Kyle Reese. Bowling Green 1 strikeout away.
Youngstown unable to survive on this at bat.
The 0-2 pitch from Luke Krause up high. Not very close to the strike zone on that one. Bringing McKenzie out of his stance. The count now 1-2. A little bit of a throwaway pitch there by Krause. See if he could get Tommy Rover to chase out of the zone. The 1-2 pitch. This one grounded to the left side through the infield for a 2-out single for Tommy Rover.
And yet again, we see Sloan not really chasing.
You know, that could be due to that miscommunication, though, because when you think about it, Sloan and Laird really haven't played too much in game action over there at third and short, respectively. So it could be just a little miscommunication between the two.
You might be right there, Tyler. Regardless, that one just dribbled past him.
Brings up Cole Smith, lefty-lefty matchup at the plate. First pitch to Smith, fastball right down Broadway for a strike. Next pitch to Smith, off speed, just misses inside, backs him away a little bit.
A home run here would keep Youngstown alive for another inning.
The 1-1 pitch by Luke Krause to Cole Smith. Down and outside for a ball. Count moves to 2-1. Penguins looking to fight and stay alive here in this game. Bowling Green looking to nail down a victory. The 2-1 pitch. Off speed. Backs up Smith once again. It's high and inside for a ball. Count moves to 3-1. Youngstown State fighting till the very end here. The 3-1 pitch just misses off the outside corner of the fastball. Bases are loaded for Brady Shannon.
Brady Shannon has been a big swinger. He's got a walk, a ground out, and he's got 2 hit singles with an RBI involved as well.
RBI single his last time up for Shannon. First pitch by Krause off speed, misses outside. Krause's control starting to go a little bit over the past couple of at-bats. The lefty comes set from the stretch. His 1-0 delivery swing and a miss at the plate by Brady Shannon. Count goes even. Full darkness in the sky with the lights on full brightness here at Eastwood Field. Off speed in there for a strike. Bowling Green 1 strike away. Bases loaded for Youngstown State. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Bowling Green leads 17-5. Luke Krause, a 1-2 count on Brady Shannon. The left-hander comes set from the stretch. Leg kick delivery to the plate. This one skied up to shallow right field. Going back is Curlis at second. He makes the catch. It's an orange and brown winner. Bowling Green comes into Youngstown and defeats the Penguins 17-5 to sweep the season series over Youngstown State and collect yet another victory here today.
That is exactly right, Tyler. Bowling Green with yet another sweep. Yes, it's a weekday sweep, but still a sweep regardless, and a pretty effortless one, to say the least. We had some massive performances. The biggest one, though, I think we will both agree, is Carter Motais in his first collegiate appearance, looking that good, fielding and batting. It was unreal.
We'll take a quick break, come back to recap it for you. You're listening to BGSU Baseball here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Bowling Green winners over Youngstown State 17-5.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
Baseball will hit the road and travel across the state to play a non-conference game against Youngstown State on Wednesday, April 9th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil will have the call starting at 4:45 for pregame and 5 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU winners over Youngstown State 17-5 here today in Niles, Ohio at Eastwood Field. Tyler Kavelitz alongside Chaz McNeil here to wrap this one up for you in the postgame show. Bowling Green pounced on Youngstown State early and often, Chaz, on their way to victory.
Yeah, you're right about that. The game really started out with the Falcons pulling ahead 2-0. Then they had another 7, go up 9-0, then 14-0. And then Youngstown State finally, after they mix and match a little bit, they get that energy that they needed. But it is a little bit too late as the Falcons get the 17-5 victory. It looked for a second like we might get more than 7 innings, but that did not end up happening, Tyler.
It did not. I think the story of the day between both of us is Carter Motice. Motice goes 2 for 3 at the plate, 3 runs batted in his first collegiate appearance, his first collegiate start. He dominates for Bowling Green. Braden Curlis, the other true freshman in the batting order, goes 3 for 4. He also drives in 3 runs, the freshman putting in work for Bowling Green.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier, it's a freshman frenzy. Braden Curlis was great. You have Carter Motice was phenomenal. Everybody doing their job. Fielding as well by Motice, I feel like we need to mention, was absolutely locked down. So as a whole, this is exactly what you need. Coming off of a tough weekend against Miami of Ohio, you've got Western Michigan, who is one of the opponents that bounced you in the MAC tournament last year. That is going to instill this team with a lot of confidence that they're going to need in a very big road trip.
In more news, Logan Bell picks up his first win with the Falcons. He does not allow a run in 2 innings, does walk 5 batters, but strikes out 3 across 53 pitches. Pelja takes the loss for Youngstown State, gives up 2 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Strikes out 2 and walks 1, 43 pitches for Youngstown State. Tackett drove in a run. Seidel also drove in 3. Garrett Wright, McKenzie driving 2 apiece. Zach Corky, Gunner, and Tillian each had a run batted in. A full team effort for Bowling Green here today. Next up, they will stay on the road against Western Michigan, go to Kalamazoo for a major battle against the reigning MAC tournament champions in the Western Michigan Broncos. That'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. We will not have broadcast of any of those 3 games. However, we will still have full, complete coverage on bgfalconmedia.com. So that'll about do it for us here at Eastwood Field. Before we go off the air, I want to send a few thank yous out. First to Kevin Hutchinson back in the studio for getting us on and off air. Couldn't do this without you, Kevin. Did a great job back there today. One of your first times doing it solo back there in the studio, so huge shout out to Kevin. Also want to thank Caden Knapp for making the trip with us, writing the recap for bgfalconmedia.com. That'll be on the website shortly. Also like to thank Chaz McNeil. Short turnaround after coming back from Las Vegas for the conferences, but great to have you on the call here for this one, Chaz.
Oh, it's great getting back in the saddle. We are both I'm excited to get a call back with you. Like we mentioned earlier, me and you and I have been very sporadic in our joint calls.
Yep.
We usually tag team them, but right now it's been great.
So that'll do it for us here from Eastwood Field. Bowling Green winners over Youngstown State 17-5. They get back on the winning track. 2 wins in a row for them now going into the Western Michigan Series. For Kevin Hutchinson, Caden Knapp, Chaz McNeil, this has been Tyler Kavlitz for the Falcon Media Sports Network saying, have a great night and stay safe, everyone. This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to bgfalconmedia.com.